Those have got the numbers. Filipovic, a low kick.
Welcome to the VAFA William Buck SEN Match of the Day.
He has a bounce, he crosses 50, he pins the ears back, and he drills the goal! You can tweet that and hashtag it bloody good.
It goes high up and under the full court. Becky's taken a ripper!
Makes a name for himself with these long bombs from outside the arc. It's a long bomb from outside the arc!
Almost 6 months ago, 10 high-calibre football clubs embarked on a journey in the men's Premier Division of the Victorian Amateur Football Association, all harbouring ambitions of taking out the competition's top prize. Throughout the winter months, we've been spoilt with a season to remember. But after 90 captivating games of home and away action and 3 bruising finals spread across 21 weekends of football, 10 has dwindled down to 2. And by day's end, only 1 team will be declared premiers. 12 months on from last year's grand final between Old Brighton and Old Scotch, we reconvene at Elsternwick Park with an identical matchup as the Tunners and Cardinals fight it out for top honours for a second straight year. But while we have the same matchup as last year, will we get the same result and witness another Cardinals Cup, or will it finally be the Tunners' time to secure that elusive Premier Men's Premiership? Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome along to Elsternwick Park for the VAFA Premier Men's Grand Final for 2025. It's just under half an hour until the opening bounce here on Grand Final Day. My name is Matthew Donald, and I'm part of one of the best assembled commentary teams that you could hope to imagine. I've joined with me the stats man, Pat Cortazzo. Pat, it is a pleasure to be with you on such a grand occasion.
What a great day here. We get a grand final rematch, Old Scotch and Old Brighton again. Old Brighton, the best team in the comp, and Old Scotch, well, elimination finals to get here.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go through the history of the two clubs, and we'll start with the minor premiers, Old Brighton. We mentioned there at the top, still chasing that Premier Men's Premiership. This is their third decider in the last 4 years, still looking for their first.
Yeah, but I feel confident about today. I think they're really prepared well. They had a big out last year in Harry Hill. They get him back today, which will be kind of like an inclusion for them. And so, yeah, they'll be looking to right the wrongs.
Looking for their first senior premiership since the Premier B title in 2017. Their route to the grand final, though, reasonably straightforward. Finished on top, played Old Zavs in the second semi-final, and won straight through.
Yeah, and that's what helps too when you get that finals bye and then you have another bye. It just freshens up the bodies. The Scotch coming off a 6-day turnaround, that's going to be a really important factor coming into this game.
And for the Cardinals, we look at their history, and we did say as well that they were the team that won the premiership last season, so they know how to do it at this time of year.
Yeah, they do. They've got the DNA to do it, and they're going to be trying to, hopefully, maybe they'll look at what they did last year and use that as a bit of fuel, but they're well prepared. They've got the momentum. And
as you say, the Tunners, they got through on easy straight virtually with just the one. For Old Scotch, their route to the grand final, well, they've had to go via the Cape. They had to win their last 3 games of the home and away season just to get to finals with a 9-9 record. First time a team's gone with a record that even for quite some time. And then they defeated St Kevin's in the first semi-final, and they held off Old Zavs here last week in a thrilling prelim. So it's been a tricky run through.
Yeah, well, I was at that St Bernard's game where we're talking about that being more of a relegation battle, and now we're seeing them in the grand final. But when you get some big inclusions through your VFL guys coming back, it just gives you that momentum you need, and they're able to get the scalps.
It's going to be a fantastic tactical battle, of course, through the course of today. Really looking forward to this game. And what we've got as well, Hugo Hickenbotham is one of our expert comments. He caught up with both coaches, Marcel Bruin of Old Brighton and Mark Natt of Old Scotch. He caught up with them a little earlier on in the day. Let's have a listen to what both coaches had to say to Hugo.
Thanks, Marcel. Got the express ride through to the grand final. I was watching the game last week. Before the last kick of the day, you were playing Zavs. How's the preparation been now that you're playing Scotch?
Well, it's good to know who you're playing pretty early on. It was a cracking prelim. Huge game. Went right down to the wire. Scotch is small. It's really got ahead, so we've got to put some time into them. We've done a lot of preparation. We've trained really well. Nothing's changed terribly much. So we're ready to go.
Okay, so massive inclusion this week. Lewis coming back in. What are we going to expect out of him? Go to the square?
Yeah, he'll probably start down deep in the forward 50. It's good to have another tall to obviously help Felix out. Scotch have got some tools themselves that are very talented, so we have to put some time into them. That helps us across a number of different lines, and he's healthy, which is a big difference to last year as well. So he'll be a bit of a match-up nightmare for them up forward, hopefully, and they give us some support through some different areas as well.
So talking about Felix, coming up against arguably the best one. How do you see that battle playing out?
It's going to be a cracker. It's going to be a really great battle across those two lines. Sam's a really player, obviously represented Victoria this year and did it really, really well. And we got his Felix and certainly saw the best of him in the 17 years. Xavier sort of round down the oppo and a lot of contested marks and helped us out a lot that day. So we're hoping for him to cover a lot of ground and just compete.
And we'd like to invite Will Houston.
Thanks for your time, Christian.
Grand final medal on their behalf.
Thanks for your time, Mark. Amazing victory last week. Short in preparation. How's the week been?
Oh, listen, just really focused on recovery in the first instance and just freshening the boys up, get them ready to go. We did this break last year, so we know what it's like.
Excellent. Now, we've got to talk about it. Last goal of the game last week to get you in here. Young guy having an amazing final series. How's he going to go, Tony?
Yeah, listen, he's certainly taking it all in front of him. He's really enjoying his swing one, which is the most important thing. He's hit 8 across the 2 finals. Chat to him yesterday, and he's just a little bit braced at the moment, and I think he'll have another good day. He's made for these moments. That's the sort of way he operates. So he'll do quite well.
And obviously, Brighton with a massive inclusion of Lewis coming in. How are we going to see that matchup work out? Who will it be? You're going to give us an insight?
Oh, listen, there'll be a few that roll through there, to be honest. It's more about us holding our structure and our shape that we want on the ball. Obviously, he's a quality player. We know that. We've played against him a few times. So he'll give us a few headaches and no doubt a few of the other forwards will as well. So, but for us, we'll just stick to our system and process and then
thanks, Tom. We now move to awarding the medal for the player judge at the field of the umpires today.
Wonderful work there by Hugo Higginbotham, and of course a special thanks to Marcel Bruin and Mark Nat, the respective coaches of Old Brighton and Old Scotch, for giving us such valuable time at what's a reasonably important day for them. Paddy, as I mentioned, you're our stats guy, and you've been at your desk all week crunching the numbers, and you've come up with a few key stats I think are going to be pivotal to deciding a winner today.
Yeah, I have, and for me, for Old Brighton, their advantage, the contested possession game, and that's made up tight in with the ground balls. Plus 26 in the last 6 weeks in contested possessions, plus 24 ground balls. So a really, really important stat. When you look at Old Scotch, they're mid-table in that area, and it's important when you're going to have contests all day. Get the ball to ground level, how you work to the next contest as well. That's going to be pivotal. For Old Scotch, you've got the clearance wins. That's going to be important. Clearance win percentage, 63% for the season. Old Brighton sitting about bottom 3 in that area. Mostly made up of centre bounce. And when we talk about grand final centre bounce and momentums in that, clearances are going to be important. Scotch have a good advantage in that area, and that could be really important. But we always talk about with grand finals, pressure in grand finals. Tackles is a big one, and for Old Brighton, since round 15, they're plus 12 in tackles, which is first in the competition. Old Scotch are 8th, minus 5. So, again, I tie that back to with the other point around Old Scotch's uncontested marks, because if Old Scotch are able to control the game, then really, man in the mark, you're not tackling. So for there, it's going to be the pressure that Old Brighton can bring to force Old Scotch into low uncontested mark game, and that can be really important. And then really for Old Scotch, the intercept marking, that's going to be really important. Intercepts in general, but for them, intercept marking, they're first in the comp versus Old Brighton, who are actually third. And really, I like the fact that looking at last year and even looking at the last 2 losses for Old Brighton, where they've been done is being in the mid-intercepts and the efficiency to score off it. So if Old Scotch can get their intercept game going and be potent off that, they can really do some damage.
Well, it's going to be a fascinating tactical battle for both teams. So let's take you to our commentary team now. We'll head upstairs, and leading the call today, Paddy Grinley.
Matthew, Pat, thank you very much. We'll be checking in with both of you across the course of Grand Final Day. This is, of course, the Friday warm-up, all thanks to Mequicare, providing care for more than 16,500 people each week all across Greater Melbourne and Victoria, and they've been doing it since 1959. Our commentary team upstairs, the 3-time premiership coach of Old Haileybury, Daniel Ward. By tonight, he'll have nearly cleared his VAFA commitments as he sets up the Sandringham Zebras. They are standing alone in 2026 in the VFL. Wardy's the man in charge. Good afternoon to you, Daniel. You've been coaching against this Old Brighton team as they've bossed their way through 2025. Take us through their keys to the game.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Paddy. Been the standout team for the last 2 years, really. So they'll be looking to execute on grand final day that they couldn't do to their desired level last year. So for that, from an individual perspective, they'll be looking to be reliable, not remarkable. They don't need to do anything special, just need to continue what they've done throughout the year. The midfield battle's really crucial, that they win the footy in there through Flockhart and the likes of Harry Hill at his feet. And then they need to be nice and clean moving forward to stop Scotch from being able to intercept. They need to move the ball quickly into one-on-one battles inside forward 45.
Wardy, thank you. Hugo Higginbotham, he became a back-to-back premiership coach as the man in charge of Elsternwick last year. It's an achievement that Mark Add is trying to match today as the coach of Old Scotch. Hugo, welcome once again to Grand Final Day. Where are you looking with Old Scotch's keys to victory?
Thanks, Paddy. Great to be here again on this great day. Let's just start with the defence of the Scotch team. Everyone talks about the big forwards, but the defence is amazing, led by Charlie Cormack down there. They get a lot of their attacks started from the back half of the ground, so expect to see that. They start that style of play where they move it laterally, own the ground, every blade of grass they'll explore, so it will be good. And then the one I'm really looking forward to today is the ruck battle. So Grant in the ruck has been the best ruckman all year, played a fantastic game in the Big V. Coming up against another very good ruckman in Felix Flockhart, who hits the scoreboard too. We know that Grant likes to get behind the ball, leads that intercepting mark, creep down there, and with Felix Flockhart coming forward at some stages to kick some very important goals, will he go to him? Will he not? Will he be focused on it? Will it be a physical battle? We don't have to wait to see, but it'll be a ripper. And then the last one, of course, Paddy, is it ain't over till it's over.
Correct.
Playing in elimination finals for the last 5 weeks. The last kick of the game last week, after being 11 points down with a couple of minutes to go, got them in front. They're here. So they've got belief, a massive amount of belief coming in.
Hugo and Wardy will hear more from you over the course of our pre-game show and throughout the game for Hit IQ. But for now, let's head back on down to ground level. Matthew Donald, Pat Cortazzo take us through the grand final teams.
Thank you for that there, Paddy. We'll be back up with you very shortly. I'm here with Pat Cortazzo down at the boundary line, our stats guru. Now, Pat, we're going to go through the teams. A couple of changes for both of them. We'll start with the minor premiers, Old Brighton. Just the one change. Alfred Yarnestrom is out, but a big in, Will Lewis.
Yeah, 5 games this year, 17 disposals, 25 goals in those 5 games. So a really big inclusion. They're going to need him today.
Oh, absolutely. And fresh off a VFL premiership as well. It's been a big week for Will Lewis. As we turn our attention to the Cardinals, Old Scotch, a couple of forced changes for them. James Polkinghorne and Reece Galvin out. Polkinghorne with a concussion, Galvin with a hamstring last week. But a couple of ins for them. Ada Frenetic and Angus Simons both come back into the side.
Yeah, and that's just tough, I guess, when you're having to play so many elimination finals and you only have a 6-day turnaround. You're going to lose some bodies. Unfortunate for a concussion. But the guys they bring in, they'll be really hoping they inject a bit of life into their team.
So certainly a lot of new faces being introduced, 3 in total to keep an eye on today for the grand final, 1 for Old Brighton and 2 for Old Scotch. Let's head it back up to Paddy now in the commentary too with his expert comments alongside him.
Thank you, Matt. So here we go, the 2025 William Buck Premier Men's Grand Final live on VAFA TV, Community TV and SEN. We're about to see our combatants run out onto Elsternwick Park. For Old Brighton, there are 16 players who were here on this day last year. Louis Butler, Angus Edgar, Gus Cork, Luke Travers, Ben Pryor and the skipper Harry Hill are the 6 who were not. Conversely, there are 15 2024 Premiership players for Old Scotch who will compete today. Aidan Frenetic, Jake Tawney, Ryan Walsh, Brodie Easton, James Brady, Tom Farah and the young man who has defined September, Angus Jones, all get their chance at Premiership medallions today. For Mequicare, let's start with the minor premiers. Old Brighton, the story in the Herald Sun on Tuesday was that Will Lewis would play for the Tunners just 5 days after kicking 2 goals for Footscray in their VFL Grand Final defeat of Southport. And in his 5 VAFA games this year, he's kicked 25 goals, gentlemen, including a bag of 10 against De La Salle. He's a Big V representative, one of the most dangerous goal-kicking threats on the ground today. Daniel Ward for Hit IQ's game-changing protect concussion management system. You've had a good old look at Will Lewis this year back in round 2. What kind of player does Marcel Bruin have at his disposal today?
Oh, he's a fantastic finisher. There's obviously a little bit of a debate whether you play him back for a period of time or he plays up forward. For me, he's a forward every day of the week, especially with Reece Galvin being out. Maybe Scotch will have to push Dougie Lawrence back, who looked a bit sore, Hugo, in the telecast last week. So I think they'll be outmatched for height and size up there in Brighton's foreline. So that'll be something that Brighton will be looking to take advantage of and isolate those Old Scotch backs as much as they can.
Yeah, so Yeah, so you're right there, Wardy. The one I'll be watching for is, you would think if Lewis goes to the square, which he most likely will, Dougie Lawrence will go to him, because Doug being a little bit hampered for his legs at the moment, wants that. But then he will move up the ground as well. Lewis is a really good player in terms of provides that extra link in the spine there, because they're not that tall forward, Brighton, so he adds a little bit to that. So that'll be an interesting one to watch, but very dangerous player. Not a bad one to bring in on grand final day.
Well, the other thing is when Felix Flockhart actually moves forward of the footy, so Felix is really good around the middle of the ground, but he's also a dangerous matchup if the opposing ruckman, so obviously today being Sam Grant, if the opposing ruckman is not across where Felix is at that point of time. So really important that, yes, Sam likes to come off and help out his defenders, and especially with him being a little bit smaller down there, he'll be looking to do that. He's got to have one eye on helping out his defenders and one eye on Felix when he pushes forward. Felix
Flockhart, he was our Skins player of the game in the second semi-final when he bossed the Olds of Arians. What a performance that was. But there's a man who's probably outshone him this September. He wears the number 49 for Old Scotch. He's a rather inconspicuous character, but he has been best on ground in both of his finals games so far. His name is Angus Jones. He's a ripping young talent, 5 majors and the winner with 16 seconds remaining for Old Scotch in the preliminary final. He kicked 7 goals in 9 home and away games coming into September, and Hugo, he's kicked 8 in 2 games coming through September. What a great story he's told already.
Yeah, he has been. He's been the story of the final series so far, and I'm pretty sure Natty's happy to have him up there, because we always talk about Tarrant and Clark in the forward line there, but it's the way he's kicked his goals too. I was very impressed last week. He gets up the ground, but he loses his opponent going back towards goal, and that's how he kicked that goal to get him in the grand final. Off a possession he should never have got. I mean, he's kicked 4, he shouldn't have any free space out there. So I would expect today that Brighton will put a bit of work into him, but I would say that he'll get on the scoreboard again.
Woody, we just watched the Tunners run out. Is there a man out there who will have Angus Jones's number?
Yeah, I think for me it's probably Louis Butler. Can do a job. Did a job on McIsaac in the second semi, but throughout the year he's one of those defenders that can shut down a big and a small. Early in the year when we played him at Old Haileybury, he shut down Andreas Stefanakis, leading goal kicker of the comp. So I'd be looking for Louis Butler to keep a close check on Jones, I'd say.
Hugo Higginbotham and Daniel Ward with us today, of course, thanks to Hit IQ and its game-changing Protect Concussion Management System. Use the code VAFA50, that's VAFA50, to claim $50 off at hitiq.com. That's HITIQ.com. Some excellent storylines this September. We've touched on them already, Hugo and Wardy, but let's look to last September for some instruction today, because Old Scotch got it done over Old Brighton, a very similar circumstance. Old Brighton went through as minor premiers. They were outstanding through the home and away season, and Old Scotch came from outside the top 2 to topple them on grand final day. Hugo, I'll start with you. How do you address the scars that might be there for this Old Brighton playing group?
Look, you probably have to acknowledge it, Paddy, but I wouldn't delve into it too much. You get a positive swing on that in terms of, we knew what happened last year. Look how much better we are this year, how much we've grown as a group, which they have. I mean, their running this year has been outstanding. You'd be looking at, you're pretty fit, no injuries. Also, too, you want to move forward. We're a very positive game, football sometimes now, different to the years ago when I played. It was everything was negative. It's all positive now. And I know Petchy doesn't like that, but that's his problem. But you're addressing the group. If you move on from that really quickly and you don't go back to it, I don't think, Pete.
You mentioned our man Simon Petch. Let's welcome in the life member right now. Petchy, welcome to Grand Final Day. It's a pleasure to have you beside me once again.
Paddy, good afternoon to you, to Buttons, to Daniel, to Pat Cottazzo, to Matt Donald, to Cal Cummins, the whole My Sport Live team, and to Hugo. Nice to be here.
Thanks, Petchy.
Nice to be here.
You got left from the bus today. Did they drop a couple off at the shopping centre, a couple at the pokies? And
no, we got left. We got left. We got left. But as I'm speaking, Old Scotch run out onto a ground that is hard and firm out there. Nothing's changed except the centre square. They've aerated that during the week. They've given it a bit of water, so it's a lot softer in there than it was here last week. Hardly a breath of wind out there. If it is blowing, it's a northerly, and it's going from the Glen Huntley Road end down to the scoreboard end. So whoever wins the toss, it really doesn't matter. It's hardly a breath of wind out there, and it's a perfect day for what should be a perfect game of footy.
And Petchy, we were at this ground this time last year for when the Old Scotch forwards, Will Clark, Ryan Valentine, James Tarrant. Valentine's the only one not to be out there today after spending the year with Coburg's VFL team. Their talls dominated the Brighton backs. Hugo, Wardy, if you're an old Brighton defender, they are still tall up front, Old Scotch, with Tarrant there, with Will Clark there, and also with Angus Grant pushing forward. Sam Grant, I should say. what do you think the matchups are? How do you think you adjust to the height of their tall forwards, and can they still work in their offensive game off the back of it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, Scotch's strength is their ability to come off in numbers down in their defence, but for old Brighton, they'll be looking to do something very similar, Hugo. So, footy these days, yes, you got to halve or win your one-on-one contest in defence, but you also need to hold down and get your numbers back, whether it's a sliding wingman or a ruckman or your fellow defenders to come off and actually intercept. Paddy Cortazzo spoke before about how important the intercept marks are with both teams. That'll be a crucial aspect of today's game.
Yeah, a lot of that intercept marking comes off the back of pressure around the middle of the ground as well. So there's got to be a lot of pressure so we get that so-called dirty ball going in. But also, too, you've got Tarrant and you've got Grant down there. So they're conscious in everyone's mind. So that's probably where you get that third man up. I guarantee you that's where Jones gets off the chain a little bit, because those two guys generally don't get out-marked. And if he's sliding forward with someone else, attending someone else, then he's on his own. So that'll be one to watch as well. So it's a tough one there. But we'll wait and see when those matchups come out.
And I think it is worth noting Angus Simons today. He's playing his first game for Old Scotch since doing his hamstring in round 14 against the Elsternwick. And at his very best, Wardy and Hugo, he's an electric small forward. Him working with Jones, that makes things really busy at ground level in the Old Scotch half. Let's look at the Old Scotch defensive half and the Tunners forwards. Charlie Cormack is the protagonist here. He's one of the great intercept markers in local footy, let alone the VAFA. Do you put a man to him? We did see Dan Donati's Elsternwick put Connor Dunn on a sort of Iceman half-forward role. What do you think will be Marcel Bruin's approach today? We'll start with you, Wardy.
Yeah, so look, I rate Charlie Cormack that highly. I'd say he'd be in the top 3 players in the comp. That's how influential he is when he can get the game on his terms. So, yeah, it's weighing up whether you isolate him or whether you actually have a defensive forward actually take him out of the game. Because if you do take Charlie Cormack out of the game, it then becomes harder for the rest of the defenders, especially if they're undersized, the Browns and the like, to actually defend, bring the ball to ground. So, if I was coaching, I'd be having a defensive forward on Charlie Cormack. Hugo.
Yeah, I would as well, just purely because I know you can say as a coach, I will play through his man. It never works like that, because he's probably still going to get, 10 intercept marks, 15, 20 possessions, and he's that damaging with his possession. He sets up their forward attack from that as well. So you'd have it as a run with, you wouldn't have it as a hard tag, but you wouldn't be making it easy for him, that's for sure.
Well, you don't have to get him to take marks on Charlie Cormack or anything like that. It's just bring it to ground, stop him from intercepting, the best interceptor in the comp.
Yeah.
And he might have a tough job defensively as well, Charlie Cormack, because you look at this old Brighton forward half. Joey Campili, third in the Sandringham VFL Best and Fairest, Woody, which I'm sure you're aware of. You've got someone like Hamish Dick who can play the half-forward midfield minutes. Jamie Hope is an electric small forward who can get out the back. He kicked 4 on second semi-final day. I want to talk a little bit about this Brighton forward line, because with Will Lewis added to it, it's a bit of Harlem Globetrotter stuff, I reckon. Yeah,
well, you're loading up if you like. Yeah. So look, Brown, who played on McIsaac last week, he can also play small. So I would think he'd play on Hope, because Hope is a guy that can win the game of footy for old Brighton. So be looking to shut him down, but then you need some other tools. So I'd imagine Dougie Lawrence will go back to assist in a key defensive post. And again, you're just looking to try and get your numbers back. Sam Grant to get back, your wingers to get back, forwards to get high up the ground, squeeze it up and then bring it to ground, and then, run it out as quickly as you can.
And can we totally assume, Hugo, that we talk about Will Lewis so much that he will line up inside forward 50 for the Tunners, because he has played defensively before?
I would start him forward, because scores early in grand final, they're so important. You want to get a little bit of scoreboard pressure on early, but with him coming into that forward line too, that's going to change the dynamic a little bit. So if someone will have to push out of there, probably you'd expect someone maybe like a Geordie Seager might play a slightly different role today. Instead of being in that forward 6 or 7, he might come up to a wing or something like that. It will change the dynamic, but you want to get goals early, make the job hard for them. You want them chasing rather than you trying to chase.
So many storylines out there today that we can talk about. Let's head back downstairs again. Our Master of Ceremonies, Matthew Donald, is standing by with the pre-match formalities.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Elsternwick Park for the William VAFA Men's 2025 Grand Final between Old Brighton and Old Scotch. I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land in which we gather on today, and extend our respects to elders past, present and emerging. I would also like to extend respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples with us here today. If you are able, please stand with the players, coaches and the umpires for the Australian National Anthem.
Hey!
Thank you, everybody. Best of luck to both teams and enjoy the game.
This is the 2025 William Buck Premier Men's Grand Final on VAFA TV, Community TV and SEN. The Friday warm-up comes to you all thanks to Mekwacare. Let's welcome in VAFA Life member Simon Petch again to the commentary box on Grand Final Day. Petch, you spoke a little bit about your ground reporters. We saw the players line up to sing the national anthem. We saw the flags fluttering in the backdrop. You spoke and you touched on a little bit about the wind and what impact that might have. How important is it to start really well here?
Well, we've seen both these sides start really well in these finals games. Scotch got off to a fly last week, and Brighton the week before. They took a little while to get into the game, but their second half of their first quarter was great against Avs. So they're good, quick starters. They love to run the football. This ground is built for that today. Toss is about to be effected in the middle of the ground. Both captains in there, Hill and Gelbart. Coin goes up, it comes down, and Harry Hill has won the toss for Brighton, and they'll kick to the scoreboard end in this first term, which is probably aided by a slight breeze. I wouldn't even put a goal amount on it.
So we see Harry Hill jog back to the huddle. Hugo Higginbotham, he had 30 disposals and 3 goals in his last matchup against the Cardinals, but he was held to a season-low 10 disposals in the second semi-final with a hard tag from the Zavs' Sam Hansen. Tell us a little bit about Harry Hill. He's one of the best players in local footy.
He is one of the best players in local footy. He's very dangerous around the middle of the ground. Best clearance player, but the leadership he's got out there. He's one guy that would have been thinking about this game for the last 12 months, and he's earned the right to be back here as the skipper. But his work around the contest was really impeded in his last game. He won't have that one again. He would have learned from that. So I'd expect to see him. And he's a work rate player. It's a game of numbers. If you get the more contests you get to, the more chance you are of getting the ball. And that's where he racks up the possessions. His work around the ground is elite.
Down to Matthew Donald on the boundary in a moment's time. Before we do go down there, Pat Cortazzo for Premier Data. You've got a little bit of a note on the first quarter, I think, for both these teams. Matthew Donald's on the boundary with Cal Cummins. Over to you, Matty.
Thank you for that, Paddy. And then back down here, ground level, with Cal Cummins. Welcome to the broadcast for the first time today. Cal, welcome to you.
Thank you, Matty. It's going to be an absolutely awesome day. The players are just getting into position. Conditions, they're pretty good for a grand final. There's no breeze, really, to speak of, maybe 1 to 2 goals at best. Brighton will be kicking to the right of the radio dial, right of screen here. We've got an absolute belt up. Both these teams fit and firing.
No, we've got an absolutely terrific game, terrific occasion. The crowd is packed here at Elsternwick Park. Conditions beautiful. We've got everything we want for a great day.
Thanks very much.
Back up to you, Paddy.
Thank you, Matthew, and thank you, Cal. We'll be catching up with you guys throughout the course of this afternoon. Just about ready for a start here, so let's talk tips. Daniel Ward, we'll start with you for Hit IQ. Who do you have winning the 2025 VAFA William Buck Premier Men's Grand Final?
Thanks, Paddy. I think I forgot who I said during the week, but it's definitely old Brighton. I think I said 15 points, so I'll stick with that.
You did, and you went Felix Flockhart for the medal too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would say old Brighton by 5 points and Harry Hill for the medal today, Paddy.
Pat Cortazzo, you've been the man on the Premier Data numbers, so you would know the ins and outs better than just about anyone, I'd anticipate. Who's your tip?
Old Brighton by 20 for me today. They've been the best team all year, and I was going to go Harry Hill for best on, but I'll go Thomas Burnell as a bit of a smoky for best on for Old Brighton.
Something to keep our eye on in this first term. We've spoken about the quarter-by-quarter numbers. Any other things standing out to you for Premier Data?
Yeah, well, I think it's just around the tackle pressure. We've spoken about that earlier. That's the key area that Old Brighton have had the dominance in. But the big thing for Old Brighton in those first quarters, they've actually been kept goalless in quite a few of them in this year too. So really for Old Scotch, it's just about getting a good start, maybe giving themselves some room and then working in that uncontested mark game.
And it was in the 2024 Grand Final that Old Scotch did get the jump on the Tunners, and they won that game only by 3 goals. So keep your eye on that one. Before we have a start here for Hit IQ, Hugo and Daniel Ward, as the players have broken for their matchups, Dougie Lawrence, where's he heading?
He's heading back, and it looks like Lipscomb is the one that's been taken out of the midfield, and he'll go back as well. So pretty small down back, Scotch, but they'll be looking to run and carry out of defence.
The reigning premiers against the team they toppled. 12 months after the Cards broke a silverware drought for top flight, they return to take their title. Simon Petch on the call.
So here we go, grand final underway, and Easton gets the first handball, a good one to Frenetic. Oh, run down by Gregson, good tackle, but Frenetic got his kick in. It goes inside 45, pick up McNabb, got it to Butler. Brighton out of danger momentarily, and Finn Campili takes the mark here for Old Brighton. Out of sight of the ground in front of a really good, strong crowd out there. Beautiful day for footy. Left footer Finn Campili up to centre wing. No one takes the mark. It fell to ground. Gregson again got a handball. Hamish Dick got a kick. A beauty. And it hit Lewis. And Lewis has taken the mark just outside the 45-metre arc.
Yeah, so you just see that one there with Lewis coming right out a long way from goal. I don't think Lawrence could go with him there, so maybe that's the way they're going to have that matchup, because Lewis started in the square there, Paddy.
So Lewis with his right leg strapped. It's really heavily strapped out there. He's a sharp shooter no matter who he plays for. Left foot kick into goal. He's driven it across and missed everything. So first score is 0. Out of bounds on the full. Resultant free kick going Scotch's way. For Conway IT, we've gone a minute. For William Buck, no score to either side. And Lewis threatening early in this first two.
Wardy, maybe just a little bit of rust being shaken out. He's had a 5-day break, Will Lewis, and a couple of those days were perhaps spent celebrating the VFL Premiership.
Couple of beverages, so it might take him a while just to warm up. He'll be right.
He's got one under the legs. Here's Charlie Cormack out of the right back pocket. Down the line he goes, Nepean Highway side. It skipped the pack, maybe an indication of the wind. And Montanaro picks it up for the Tunners. He kicks it towards half forward. It's a little bit short. Here comes Dick. Over the top of Brodie Easton. He picks up the footy. He snaps a rolling ball towards Will Lewis, who fends off one tackler who is caught though by Brown. Jack Brown wins himself a free kick in the right back pocket holding the footy.
Just noticing that last contest on the wing there, that when Flocko went for the mark, Clark came off and bodied him out of there. So we'd expect to see a bit of that today, I think, around the ground.
Once again, the exiting kick for Old Scotch doesn't come up on the first time of asking. It's over the line and out of play. 60 metres from the Old Brighton goal, no score.
Really important that Scott's defenders play up. So Hamish Dick has led Lipscomb to the footy twice in the first couple of minutes. So they've got to make sure playing up, bringing the ball to ground.
So about to be thrown back in, out of sight of the ground, Nature Reserve side. About 55 out from Brighton's goal, attacking to the scoreboard end. Flockhart tried out of the ruck. Easton took a dive. Gregson got a handball. Finn Campili, a kick towards 45. But backing back and taking the mark here is Jack Brown here for Scotch. And once again, another possession for him. He stays on the outer side of the ground. They go back towards Flockhart, but Tweedy chimed in and took the mark here for Brighton. Again, they go inside 45. Hope stays down. He may get there. It went through Pryor. It came out to Cormick, who got a kick towards centre wing through the arms of Flockhart. Out the back here, Henry Brown with the handball. He then danced around. He goes inside. McNabb fell over. Chiming in Farah. Handball Frenetic. Bad kick off the boot. Favoured Montanaro. Frenetic goes in again. Good leg tackle on Farah. And a free kick going Scotch's way inside the centre square.
Farah's going to go quickly inside 50 because Will Clark's in the paddock. He takes the mark 44 metres out. 45-degree angle to right half forward Will Clark for the first goal of the 2025 Grand Final.
Yeah, they probably need to hold that up there a little bit, Scotch, because there was no one forward of the ball when it was coming through that centre of the ground. The forwards come up really, really high. And I just noticed Flockhart had a lot of trouble getting back to the back defensive half there, so that's why Clark got that mark unimpeded out in front.
So Will Clark For goal number 32 on the season for him. 3 goals on grand final day in 2024. He has the first shot at goal for Old Scotch in 2025. He's got it! On the William Buck scoreboard, the Cards away first. They're one straight off. Brighton yet to score.
Old Brighton would be disappointed with that because they owned the play for the first 3 or 4 minutes. They'd stopped Scotch from switching the footy, got the ball down the line. Grant was very clever to knock the ball out the back, and as Hugo said, they enter an open forward line from there.
Pat Cortazzo for Premier Data, what do the numbers tell you?
Yeah, well, the early ground ball get dominance for Old Brighton there. Old Scotch couldn't find an uncontested mark, but then just took an aggressive line, got into the corridor and get their shot on goal. That was almost a full ground transition.
Thrown in the air again in the side, the centre circles, and Flockhart got that down. Hill raced onto it. He gets the clearance here for Brighton, goes forward, up to the forward pocket for them in front of the scoreboard. Free kick against Dick. It will go Lipscomb's way, and Lewis. And Lawrence having a little how do you do. Lewis just threw himself to the ground, really. And Lipscomb gets the first, or gets the free kick inside defensive 45.
Yeah, he's irascible, that Lawrence, isn't he?
Ollie Barter off the ground, quickly limping. We'll follow that up in a sec.
So Lipscomb goes short, bad kick. Seagull there, had it fisted away by Easton, who threw. Jamie Hope to ground, then Harry Hill wants a piece of Easton. He didn't like what he saw. And a Seagull gets the free kick here for Brighton. 5 gone. Scotch lead 1 straight 6. Brighton yet to score. They go forward up towards full forward, and the mark nearly taken there by Grant. Fell down to Brown. Gregson gets in the thick of things. Hope there as well for Brighton, and the umpires picked out a free kick going Lawrence's way down at the scoreboard end of the ground. So Scotch again goes short inside there for defensive 45. Noblet brings it out towards half-back, and Lipscomb takes the mark on away from Hill. Goes towards Hayes, heard the call inside. Handball here, and Brown's got it. Oh, he's dispossessed there by McNabb. Free kick Brighton, centre wing out of side.
Just about a front half turnover here for the Tunners to try and score off. McNabb's got the footy. He's a long left-footed kick. He goes inside 50. Flockhart and Grant. The first engagement in the air for those two, and it's Grant who takes the mark, Daniel.
I like that better though, Paddy. Felix actually pushed inside 45. The first one that went in, Sam Grant was in there by himself, so he needs to keep pushing forward.
So Old Scotch just finding some rhythm in the defensive half. Here's Noblet up to Farah, centre wing. The Peen Highway side, he plays on. He runs away from Fisher. He goes inside 50. Tarrant and Cork. Tarrant front position. Cork engaged. Did well. Got the fist on the footy, knocked it out of play. Pat Cortazzo for Premier Data.
Yeah, Old Brighton early, already the 6 inside 50s to Old Scotch. That was only their 3rd, so they're just peppering those entries with a lot of numbers there, and intercept marking is already strong for Old Scotch.
So Clark to contest the ruck. You'll see the ball here, okay, because he's cut his hair. No hair flying down in front of the eyes today here for Will. He got it down, or Fisher ducked the head, then he fell to ground. Great tackle laid on him by Frenetic. The umpire says a free kick or a ball up. No, a ball up. Gee, that was a good tackle. Aidan Frenetic on Fisher, went nowhere. Clark got it down. Gregson hit his bootlaces. Fell out here to Flockhart. Short kick Travers. Handball inside to Hill, and away he goes. Harry's got it. 1 bounce. In through the centre square to centre half forward. Lewis fell over. Has he got time to pick himself up? Lawrence gets to the football first. In trouble. Lewis! Into goal. No, he coughed it up again. Lawrence there. Handball came back. Umpire's blown the whistle. No, it hasn't. And Lowen fists the ball over the line, and we'll have a ball in.
I know he made some jokes about Will Lewis maybe having a couple of refreshments early in the week, but he's made a couple of errors early. He'll find his feet, no doubt.
Tripped over his own bootlaces.
Tell you what, if Dougie Lawrence wasn't sore coming into this game, he's very sore right about now. He's been cleaned up a couple of times. Flockhart down to the front, Stubbings wrapped up.
Won't bother Dougie. He's an irascible character.
He's great. Him and Hope had a little how do you do in their last meeting out at Camberwell. I think Lawrence sort of upended Jamie.
Seagar, that might have come off the shoe. It's going to be thrown in here. So we're between the wing on the broadcast side and the right half forward flank on the William Buck scoreboard. It's the Cards 1 straight 6. Brighton yet to score. We've gone 8.5 minutes for Conwire IT in the first term. A few moments ago for Author Sport Victoria. Ollie Barter came off the ground looking sore. Matthew Donald will be watching that one closely as Seagar takes the ball from the throw-in, feeds the handball in the Fisher direction. He takes on the bounce. His kick is smothered off the boots by Brodie Easton. Let's go down to Matthew Donald on the boundary, and get a update on Ollie Barter's condition. Matthew.
Yeah, thanks for that, guys. We saw him limp off about 5 minutes ago. He took a seat on the bench straight away. He's still there. Still no update at this point.
Good on you, Matty. And the ball comes back into play. 55 out from Brighton's goal. Scoreboard into the ground. Grant got it down. He'll rode it beautifully. Goes in after it again. Fisher in support of him. Now Frenetic ends up with it all. He went one way, then the other. Then he lost it. Good tackle, Edgar. He laid a good tackle. Loose footy now. Di Martina towards the boundary line. Sees it over.
For Premier Data, Pat Cortazzo.
Yeah, we spoke about the tackle pressure early and how it was in favour of Old Brighton, but so far for Old Scotch, it's even at the moment. 3 tackles apiece.
Gee, low scoring. 6 playing 0. Scotch have the lead. We've gone nearly 10 minutes in this first term. Thrown back in. Grant got it down. Now Brown tackled by Lewis. Brought to ground. That's Henry, and we'll have a ball up between half back and centre wing here for Scotch.
Yeah, that equaling out in the tackle count, that's just purely about the pressure that's around the ball. No one can get clear at the moment, so that's all that is.
Lewis taking his turn in the ruck here, so Joey Campilli will be staying at home.
Yeah, and Flocko's gone to the square, so I'm really curious about that matchup with Dougie Lawrence. Flocko's definitely got him for athleticism and also height.
Grant to Henry Brown, a kick of 10 metres that goes into the centre of Elsternwick Park on the bounce where Tawney has prior. He gets a clearing kick manufactured forward somehow. Well done, Henry Brown. He slips past one tackle. Butler got him though, holding the footy.
Christie, they can throw to
Rick Butler, the star, formerly of the Western Bulldogs, and North Melbourne as well this year, I believe, and off to represent the Big V in 2025, where he was awarded the Spirit of the Big V award for his stellar game against Perth, and he'll drive it past halfway. Simon Petch.
So Butler goes long with the kick. Flockhart the target, in from the side. Lawrence stood still. Ball fell to him though. He nearly ended up with it going through Seagar, misread it. It came back here to centre wing, and Butler takes the mark here. Brighton go forward again. Low on a left foot kick, goes out wide as long as he can. Finn Campilli out there. He goes to ground. Lewis there. Now Cormac's got it here for Scotch. Short kick along the ground. Simon's too good. He gets away. He gets a kick towards 45. No mark taken. Clark in the back. 20 ended up with it for Brighton. Got the handle towards the boundary line. Noblet will see it over. The umpire will call insufficient intent. And free kick going Scotch's way.
Might have an update on Ollie Barton in a few minutes' time. Meanwhile, Scotch go inside 50 for Clark again. Well, we got 2 hands to it. Couldn't bring it down in the second chance attempt. The ball's going to be wrapped up quickly. Matthew Donald for Author Sport Victoria on the boundary.
Gents, Ollie Batter has his hamstring iced. His day, you would suspect, is done.
That is a massive bit of news. Thank you, Matty, for Author Sport Victoria. Old Scotch are going to have to do it without Barter. Clark up and down the chimney from the restart. This won't be paid. Tweedy got across with a fist. It's loose, it's willing in tight. Jack Tawney lays a big tackle. The umpire called him to play. Will now cross the arms to throw this one up 30 metres out from goal.
Massive loss for Scotch, that is. He started on Harry Hill in the middle of the ground. I think he actually did it, chasing Harry Hill out of the centre square clearance.
Clark was looking for Tawney. He couldn't grab the footy low and could for Old Brighton. Clears his own momentarily. Here's Charlie Cormack. 80 metres from goal, Charlie, the intercept king. One of the best players in VAFA top flight this year. He dumps it back inside 50. Tarrant and Cork. Tarrant reaches. Cork did well again. Butler's tackled off the footy. It's tight, it's desperate. Simons is lurking. Butler wasn't clean at the first time of asking. Farah snaps it. He inches it forward. Yorgie was there. The Tunners repel. The kick was smothered. It's still rattling around 3 metres out from goal. Now it's over and out. Right forward pocket for Scotch on the William Buck scoreboard. They're one straight off. Brighton yet to score. 12.5 down for Conway IT.
Yeah, you just see the value of the Scotch smalls there. Those pressure forwards there, they were excellent in keeping that ball in. So it's a good situation here.
Gee, the tackling's been enormous by both sides in this first quarter down here. The grand final, Scotch and Brighton. Back in it comes, no ruck went at it. It nearly dribbled outside 45. Edgar's got it here for Brighton. A wobbly kick off the boot of the bootlaces of hope. He bent down, he got it out somehow. Now head over the football was Hamish Dick. Now Jonah Campilli, a handball. No, of a punch towards Hayes though. Scotch bring it back towards centre half forward. Oh, Seagar first onto the football. There got the handball back here. Tweedy now goes through after a misread. He goes towards the boundary line and it stays in. Mark taken here by Travers. So Brighton about to go forward again. Low scoring first term. Scotch lead 1 straight 6. Brighton yet to score. And the fist from Walsh was a ripper. Over the line out of play. Will have a ball in. 13 gone for Conway IT on the William Buck scoreboard. Scotch lead 1 straight 6. Brighton yet to score.
Pleasing start for Old Scotch to +9 at contested possessions, and they're also +4 at ground ball, so really promising for them.
I think Frenetic's really helped him around the middle of the ground. He's obviously had his injury issues, but he's been fantastic at the contest situation.
So the 45-metre arc they'll play. Grant down to Stubbings. He kicked it into a pack of players. Gelbart, the skipper, had it for a moment. They had him. Back over the line, Hugo Higginbotham.
What's going to change with that moving forward is their rotations, because obviously Barter being in there now, he's not there, so they'll have to change that plan. So they've got to find an extra one to drag through there.
Yeah, absolutely, especially considering Lipscomb has gone out of that rotation and he's had to go back for what they've had come out of the side.
Rick Travers tried to do a bit of his own umpiring there, the officials having none of it. So back into play, Grant reaching over the top, and the clearance comes again from Old Scotch. It's a one-on-one, no one's behind this footy. Yorgie and Farah wrestled before it had arrived, and Yorgie was held, I imagine.
Yeah.
I reckon it was just about a 0-0 draw, Hugo.
Well, I would have thought it was as well, but the umpires are always right. But Tommy Farrell basically took hold of his arm as he got possession, so that's umpire interpretation there. But it's slowed up here, so they give Scotch a chance just to set up.
Nice early win for Tom Yorgie. Game number 104 in the senior Old Brighton side. Went to Butler, the kick didn't carry the required, so he has to play on and kick it long for Finn Campielli, who did well. Tapped the ball down, Brady beelines the football. They grabbed him, and he'll be thrown up here attacking side of the wing for Old Brighton. For Conwara IT, we've gone just about 15 minutes in the first term on the William Buck scoreboard. It's Scotch by 6 points.
Right up by Dimatsina. Brady's a big boy, and Kai brought him down beautifully and held up play. Settling out of side of the ground. Flockhart got it down. Simons ends up with it. Handball inside there. Gelbart handball. Townsend goes towards half forward, and the mark taken by Clark. 50 out from goal. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground. Tarrant running around into the pocket. He goes in that direction. Another set. Oh, but getting in front, Cork. Stole it out of his hands, and down in defence, Gus Cork takes the mark here for Brighton. Dangerously across the face of goal. Comes commentary side to McNabb, and he takes the mark. Deep in the left back pocket. He just looks up and he sees Yorgie. Ball hit the ground before he marked it, told to play on. Finn Campielli, good kick. It found him beautifully from Yorgie. Finn goes to the outer side of the ground. They're off here, Brighton. Sweetie, if it sits for him, it's good. He gets the football, he looks up, he goes in short over the top. Not a real good kick. It's out of bounds or smothered off the hand, and a resultant free kick going Scotch's way. Hayes has it from the kick.
I think it was clean out of bounds on the floor. I thought Hayes had hands. Oh, that Tweedy and Tawney almighty collision. Jake Tawney has worn it. He's slow to his feet. He's got a free kick. He is as tough as they come. The Queenslander, he goes sideways, and here go Old Scotch again. Inside 50. Tarrant in a good spot. No, couldn't bring it down. Yorgie fists it clear. Finn Campielli, it skips past him at the arc of 45. Old Brighton having to defend manfully. Montanaro was taken high.
Well, that was strange with Tarrant there, because he got perfect body position. It was almost an uncontested mark, so that's a let-off for Brighton.
So it's Lowen rather than Montanaro. Apologies. He's got the free kick left half back. They want a slow play here, the Tunners. They just want to try and control this footy to a one-on-one with Hayes and Burnell. The ball will go. It skips past them and it will go out of bounds. Daniel Ward for Hit IQ.
What I really like about what Scotch are doing here with the boundary throw-ins in the wing is they're either all the way up and they're opening up their space for their forwards to create that one-on-one. So Brighton just need to be aware of that they cover off defensively.
Nearly 17 gone in this first term. Scotch lead 1 straight 6. Brighton yet to score. They've had plenty of chances. Flockhart wins that one down. Got it to Fisher. Quick kick off the boot to centre wing. Edgar underneath it. So is Townsend. Good handball. Found Gelbart. And then another handball and brought the ground Noblet. And free kick going, and Hill takes it here for Brighton. He goes up towards 45 out from goal. It ricocheted back outside, and Lawrence sees it over the boundary line.
Yeah, Petro, I just noticed that Tawney's come to the bench and they're sort of having a good look at him, so I might have to get Matty Donald to have a look at that, because that was from that massive hit before.
Well, he had a massive hit last week too, don't forget. He got one in the rib cage last week, and he continued on.
In the bread basket, I think.
Yes, in the bread basket. As we await the ball to be thrown back in, out of sight of the ground. As I said, a low-scoring first term. Scotch lead 1 straight 6 to Brighton, yet to score. Fisher first of the footy. Easton roaring like a glove. Got it out somehow to Simons, did Brodie. He wants it back, but he won't get it back. Stacks on the mill developer. We'll have a ball up.
Yeah, not a lot of clear possession for Brighton around these contests. Scotch are really chasing them in, and just as soon as they go to take possession, they're onto them straight away.
So what Will Lewis knows he's alive. He was just collected behind play, I think. Nothing completely untoward, but certainly just letting him know that he's playing a grand final.
Has that anything to do with the man playing on him?
Maybe. We'll have a look at that one at quarter time.
He's a very irascible character, that Doug Lawrence, isn't
That's
it?
your word of the day, Hugo, as this ball goes back up.
I took Pecky's advice.
Gelbart and Easton after it for Old Scotch.
Got the dictionary out.
And forward top the footy here. So Nepean Highway side wing. bit of contest stuff. So on the William Buck scoreboard, it's a 6-point lead to Old Scotch. Only one scoring shot a goal to Will Clark. It came earlier on in this quarter. We are just rolling from stoppage to stoppage, and Simon Petch, the field umpire's arm's getting sore. Hugo, quickly.
Just quickly off that, if you looked at that stoppage there, Felix Flockhart tried to exit the front. We've seen him a couple of weeks ago how he likes to take the ball out of the ruck, so I think Scotch are ready for that today.
Yep, they swarm around him too when that goes up. Here's Frenetic, got it down. Simons, he has a bounce on half forward. 55 out, wobbly kick into the pocket, not a real good one. Farrow ended up with it. Handball back to Simons. Simons runs into goal. He puts it on its way and misses. Only a minor score. You can see the whites of his eyes from here, Daniel.
Same thing again there. Boundary throw in on the wing. Scotch get up the ground. They leave their forward half open for them to run, carry it out. Looks like Jones is coming off as well. The Scotch boys are dropping like flies at the moment.
So it's a desperate start to the grand final. Pat Cortazzo for Premier Data, what are you seeing?
Yeah, looking at the ball ups and throw-ins there for Old Scotch there. We're leading the ball ups +2 at throw-ins. It's Old Brighton +3, but it's very even in clearances at the moment.
Charlie Cormack with the intercept mark. He's called to go. He gets on his bike. He kicks it high inside 50. Tarrant, here he comes again!
Got it.
He's had a few chances in the air, James Tarrant. This time he plucks it. He's going to go back for Old Scotch's second. Let's go down as he lines up to Matthew Donald on the boundary.
Yeah, guys, Jake Tawney just spent a couple of minutes on the bench. He's back out on there in the ground. The big concern is Angus Simons. He's just come off the bench, thrown his mouth guard away in disgust straight away, and he's being tended to by a couple of trainers. So worrying signs for him, but the good news is Tawney's back on the ground.
Fresh back from a hamstring injury as well. Daniel Ward and Hugo Higginbotham. Let's hope it's not two hamstrings in the first term.
No, not looking good. Definitely not looking good the way he came off.
Here's Tarrant, 30 metres out, slide angle to right, half forward. He's pulled the kick. He misses to the left-hand side. On the William Buck scoreboard, it's Old Scotch 8. Old Brighton yet to score. We've gone 20.5 for Comwire IT. Hugo, if you don't
So you just think 6-day turnaround, that's a lot of load, especially over the last month. They've had a massive amount of load, whether it's finally coming home to roost.
So Butler kicks the ball back in, stays inside defensive 45. Nepean Highway side of the ground, Tweedy's got it. Goes over Pryor's head, Noblet there, palmed it away. Pryor nearly ended up with it. Lawrence came through. Now Brown gets a kick. It goes inside. No, it doesn't. It stays just in. Farah ends up with it. Then he got it back in. Noblet kept running. Then he's tackled. Great tackle brought to ground. And we'll have a ball up 50 out from Scotch's goal.
So yeah, Old Scotch inside 50s. They're +1 now. They've had the 9 inside 50s to Old Brighton's 8. Of Old Brighton's 8 inside 50s, Old Scotch have rebounded all 8 of them.
Wow, and they haven't scored yet, Brighton. And we're nearly gone 22 minutes in this first term. Flockhart tried as he may outside of that ruck contest. It fell to Burnell. Now Gregson, a left foot kick around the body for Brighton. Goes up towards the boundary line. Over the line out of play. Insufficient intent. And Scotch will take the free kick.
Yeah, just off the back of that clearance turnaround, but not putting scoreboard pressure on. So it's still only an 8-point lead. So for Brighton to sort of give those away, they'd be happy with this. Oh,
just had a good look at Angus Simons trying to walk out the little knock that he's copped on the boundary. Meanwhile, Felix Flockhart, another intercept mark. He goes to Hill, quickly by hand to McNabb inside 50. Here's a shot for Will Lewis or Camp Peely. Oh, he got a hand to it, couldn't bring it down. Townsend out the back, can go to Stubbings and relieve the pressure momentarily. So Stubbings beneath the scoreboard and has his side 8 points clear for William Buck. In this first term, we've played 22 minutes for Comwire IT. Stubbings will be called to move the ball along. Had a lot of the footy this final series. He kicks it high and long towards us broadcast side. Gelbart from a couple deep. Big fist over the back of Fisher. Maybe caught him around the chops, I suspect. Free kick to be taken here by Tom Fisher, attacking side of the wing for Old Brighton. He's not wasting any time. Back inside 50. He hunts for a one-on-one. Dick went for a fly. Lawrence out the back, moving slowly. Dougie still got his foot to the ball. Clark's underneath this high footy. Butler across the front. Clark held on. Great grab by Will Clark, and now Old Scotch might open up the corridor. That is a magnificent kick. Oh, just hung a little bit for Frenetic, who was pushed anyway, and there's a little bit of afters. Gelbart wasn't particularly pleased with Flockhart, and it's taken by Frenetic. He puts it in the Nepean Highway side wing. Hayes is after the ball. He fists it onwards. This might pitch and bounce over the white line. It will, 60 metres from the Old Scotch. Oh, insufficient intent.
Yep.
Good
That's
pick
about
up, Simon Petch.
4 for the game so far. So the umpires are hot on this. Montanaro brings it into Yorgie. Gee, there's a lot of support down behind the goals at the scoreboard in here for Brighton. They've had nothing to cheer about yet. Wait till they kick their first. They'll absolutely erupt. And we've gone 23 minutes in this first term and Brighton yet to score a goal. Hayes goes up, fell on his derriere, and the umpires...
What's that word?
on his backside.
It's French.
And yeah, Derek.
It's French.
I learned French at school. That was the only French word I
language
learned,
or something else?
apart from le. So here's Le Hayes.
Le Derriere.
He goes with the kick to Clark, 45 out, can't mark, good mark in front. Montanaro, he stood there, he knew Clark was coming, but he took the mark strongly in front.
Old Scotch now plus 15 contested possessions and plus 9 in ground balls, and they've also already taken the 4 contested marks.
Campilli, he goes for a massive fly. He didn't quite bring down the mark, said the umpire. Oh, that would have been just about mark of the year, if not mark of the day. Fantastic fly from Joey for Sharon. Meanwhile, the ball's up Brighton out of side. Hayes lays a big tackle. Still the umpire waves the arms in the air. Lewis is now after an Old Scotch opponent, Joey Campilli, just getting involved. There, Daniel Ward, for your IQ.
Scotch winning this battle in the coach's box at the moment. They're really setting the ground up the right way. The intent from the Scotch players has been great, but they're actually setting the game up beautifully well.
Well, Lewis and Charlie Cormack just acquainting themselves where this ball's going to be thrown up. Lewis is going to go after it at ground level. It's off the shoe, over and out off Gelbart, and Will Lewis and Andy Gelbart just again going after each other. He's in a bad temper, Will Lewis. He's had just about everyone in a gold, blue and cardinal red jumper go after him to start this game. This is going to be thrown in Nepean Highway side wing. 25 minutes gone in the first term for Conwire IT. Old Scotch 1-2. Old Brighton, Simon Petch still yet to score.
Yet to score. They've been inside 45 plenty of times in this first term. Grant won that one down. Frenetic there. Gregson, no. Frenetic bun it off him. Then it went to Henry Brown, then goes out wider here. Gelbart brings it into Farah. He marks pointy end of the centre square. Handball Tawney. Back on the ground, wobbly kick. Goes inside 45 for Scotch. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground. Oh, Townsend, it opened up for him. He goes in the goal and missed. Oh, he thought he had it there for a stride. Townsend in the goal, missed for Scotch. That's their 4th shot at goal. They lead 1-3-9. Brighton yet to score. 25 and a half gone in this first term for Conwire IT.
For Author Sport Victoria, let's hit Matthew Donald's line once again for an injury update on the boundary.
Yeah, guys, I've just been told Angus Simons is also done for the day for Old Scotch, so down to 2 on the bench. It's not even quarter time.
That is a remarkable story. Campilli goes for another fly. He started a bit too far back. Tawney takes the footy. Intelligent hand pass to Stubbings, who couldn't grasp the Sharon. He can grab Seagar, though. It'll be thrown up here, 55 metres out from the Old Scotch goal. So there's cards. 2 down on the bench already, Hugo and Woody.
Yeah, it won't affect too early, but as the game plays on, that's when it'll start to really hit home with those rotations.
Grant tried to find Gelbart on the fly, just tapped it behind him. Seagar applies the pressure. Travers picks up the football for Old Brighton. He skips the kick up to Hope, who off his bootlaces tried to find his teammate in Burnell. He couldn't take it. Cormack's taken down, holding the ball. Hot whistle. Dick will take the ball. He's 80 metres out from the Old Brighton goal. Still waiting for their first major of the grand final. Hamish Dick, he's not got many options. He's going to skim this towards the top of the square. Lewis and Lawrence, who will fly. Campilli. Oh, again he got hands to it. Again he can't bring it down. He's so close, Joey. Might be a high tackle here.
Yep.
Brady on Hope. And Hope controlled the body well. He'll have the shot from beneath the scoreboard for Old Brighton's first, Hugo.
I was just going to say, you really have to feel with that entry there that Brighton have to capitalise on this, because it's played the last 10 minutes has been in the Scotch half, and now Brighton have struggled with their entries today, so must get on the scoreboard here.
For Premier Data, Pat Cortazzo, sorry, Hugo, how many inside 50s for Brighton?
They're now up to 10.
So Hope really needs to execute this one. 45-degree angle to right half forward. We've gone 27 minutes without a Tunner's goal in the grand final in 2025. Jamie Hope, he steps up. He kicks through the football. He kicks it far left. He's just been able to score and open Old Brighton's account on the William Buck scoreboard. They're one behind. Old Scotch 1-3-9. 27 and a half down for Conwire IT in the first term of the grand final.
Yeah, look, crucial miss there from Old Brighton. They obviously don't have the game on their terms at the moment, and if they kick that, obviously scores are quite tight, so big miss.
So Nobler kicks the ball back in. Grant went the fly. Umpire says ball this one, and it went out of play. So a missed opportunity there to Brighton. Low scoring quarter. 1-3-9 Scotch. 1 behind, 1 point Brighton. 28 minutes gone for Conwire IT in this first term of the grand final between Brighton and Scotch. Thrown back in out of sight of the ground. Centre wing is the target. Grant won that one down. Ball going nowhere. Easton held up by Dimatina. And once again the umpire throws it in the air. He wasted no time. Grant won that one down. Gelbart read it beautifully. Tackled by Dimatina. Couldn't release the footy. Umpire says give it to me. I'll ball this one up.
So from the 25-minute mark of the first term, Old Scotch, they're down to 2 on the bench. Can they outlast the Tunners here? That's going to be the equation. They lead it by 8 points right now, and we're getting another stoppage here on the Nepean Highway side wing. So a really contested first term of footy. Just 4 scoring shots. Old Scotch by 8 points on the William Buck scoreboard. Back in the air we go, and I suspect that one's going to be back in the air shortly after. So how do you break loose here, Daniel Ward, for both teams?
I think it's just been clear with the contest. Sam Grant, big hit out of the ruck into open space, and they're out again with that space that we keep speaking about. They keep chaining it out by hand.
Yeah, Grant did get it out. He managed to kick off a handball chain that's going to be dragged back after a free kick for high contact, which will go the way of the Tunners here.
No, this is off the ball.
Or is it off the ball,
it's
Hugo?
right back off the ball.
What did you say?
I think he clocked it. To be quite honest, no, there was a bit of a wrestle and he grabbed him high. The umpire was right behind him, so I think that Dimatina's got the ball there now, which is an absolute win because Scotch were out moving forward at the moment.
Dimatina then, he's going to bump it inside 45. Where's Joey Campilli? He's flown early. He's underneath this ball. He's held on. So Joey Campilli, who's taken to the skies on multiple occasions, this time he keeps his feet firmly on terra firma, and he holds on in the left forward pocket, Hugo or Daniel Ward.
So, Wardy, what I was going to say to you is, how do you reckon Natty's feeling at the moment when they had the ball at half forward with a stoppage and something's happened off the ball that is now a shot on goal at the 29, nearly 30-minute mark?
That's why discipline crucial in grand finals in particular.
Campilli, drop punt approach from the pocket. Joey, no! He's hit the stick all the way up. And Old Brighton will go through the first term without a goal. They are 2 behinds on the William Buck scoreboard. Old Scotch 139, the only goal of the grand final. Will Clark at the 4-minute mark for the Scotchies. He kicked the first goal of the grand final. He's kicked the only goal of the grand final. It's a 7-point advantage. Daniel Ward, Hugo Higginbotham, your reactions to the first term for Hit IQ?
Yeah, positives and negatives for both teams. Probably the only negative for Scotch was losing the 2 boys, the 2 runners, to hamstring injuries. Really important for those 2 to not be woe-is me when they go out there. Stay up and about and stay mentally strong. Give the vibe off to the group that we're okay, we're in this, we're going really well, game's on our terms. So really important that they win this mental battle at the quarter-time huddle.
Yeah, and that's going to be something for the coaches for Scotch now. They've really got to manufacture those rotations and try and keep the legs fresh as possible out there.
Old Scotch 139, Old Brighton 2 behinds. Quarter-time of the 2025 VAFA Premier Men's William Buck Grand Final.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Hey guys, introducing GYG's $12 chicken mini meal. It's the ultimate value bundle. A mini chicken burrito or bowl, medium Chipotle seasoned fries, and a bottle of water or a soft drink of your choice. It's cheaper than cooking at home. Love ya.
The VAFA's Night of Nights is just around the corner. Join us at the VAFA Awards Night as we celebrate our league best and fairest winners, induct our newest life members and present the premiership flags. Wednesday, October 8th at the Lakeside Pavilion in Albert Park. Get your tickets now at vafa.com.au.
Stay up to date with all the latest from the Victorian Amateur Football Association with the brand new VAFA app. Stay connected with live scores, fixtures, stats and news from across the Victorian Amateur Football Association right at your fingertips. Download the VAFA app today from the App Store or Google Play and never miss a moment.
Quarter time here at Elsternwick Park in the 2025 Premier Men's Grand Final. Old Scotch 139, Old Brighton 2 behinds. Pat Cortazzo is on the numbers for Premier Data. Pat, what do you got to tell us?
Yeah, well, for Old Scotch, a great quarter for them. We talked about in the pre-game around Old Brighton how dominant they've been in contested possession, particularly in their ground balls. And so far, Old Scotch have got the wood over them there. 8+18 contested possessions, plus 11 ground balls there. The biggest thing, though, we talked about Old Brighton, they're getting those inside 50 entries. They had 11 for the quarter and 9 were direct turnovers that resulted in Old Scotch being able to rebound 50. So they had some opportunities, they just didn't convert, and that just adds on to the theme around their first quarters for the season, Old Brighton. But again, they're still in it.
Let's head into the Tunners huddle then. The next voice you'll hear will be that of Old Brighton coach Marcel Bruin.
On test. We're overcommitting too many numbers inside. Quick release on the outside. And, hey, they've been slick. They've been able to get it to the outside really effectively. We've got to shut that shape on the outside, right? That means that, you know, the stuff that we do, one at the ball carrier as opposed to two. Because I think we're getting some arms and some hands on jumpers at the moment, but we can drag those down and hold them down. Yeah, those basics things, those basics and the fundamentals that we need to be better at. Yeah. No, lads, we need to be better at. This quarter, obviously, you're working in the slight breeze. We'll play that.
Thanks to Marcel for his access into the huddle. Let's check out and see if we can hear the voice of Mark Natt in the old Scotch huddle.
A couple of holes that opened up. You're one inside. Really nice.
The one with Frenetic out back down there, we roll back outside. Roll back outside, and then we get reset off the back of that. 20.
Come on, boys.
Apologies, it looks like our signal's not quite coming through from the huddles there. There are a ridiculous amount of people who are swarmed around the players and
really matter,
and volunteers.
Okay? Ball security. Can you see?
So the Tunners huddle is broken. We'll be
stop
down
it there.
Shortly to speak to Marcel Bruin, who is the coach of Old Brighton. Let's head over and down to Cal Cummins, who's got the coach of Old Brighton, Marcel Bruin.
Sophie, a lot to like in that first term. The big thing as well, it does inside 50, but only the two behinds. What was it to make?
We just got dumpy, as I said, in that quarter-time address. We're just kicking it in a bit high ball and hoping to get something to happen from that. We had an opportunity to probably be a bit more patient and change lanes a little bit to open up the inside 50. Hey, they defended it really, really well. Yeah.
Any big changes we can expect to see in the remainder of this contest?
We'll wait and see how it pans out at the moment. We're just basically trying to grind it down a little bit at the moment, get it back on our terms a bit.
No worries, back to you guys.
Thanks, Cal, and to Marcel Bruin. Let's go back inside the old Scotch huddle. So we'll be catching up with the coach of the Cards, the reigning premiership coach, Mark Natt, in just a few moments' time. Before we get to Natty, Hugo, a quick word from you. Marcel Bruin, you're down by 7 points at quarter time. What kind of changes are you making in that huddle?
You wouldn't be making too many, Paddy. You'd probably be putting on a few players and you'd be focusing on those entries as well. And you'd be saying to your forwards, we need to capitalise. Everyone else is doing the hard work. So it's putting it back on them.
Let's go back down to Matthew Donald. He's got the coach of the Cards, Mark Natt.
I do indeed. Mark, thank you for your time. An arm wrestle on the opening term, but a good start. What did you make of it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's an even battle and you know, really strong at the contest from both sides, but we're able to get the ascendancy, a little bit more ball going our way, which was good. Probably coughed it up a couple of times there in terms of midfield turnover, but overall pretty good.
And the injuries in that term, Ollie Batter and Angus Simons as well, that's disappointing for them on grand final day.
Yeah, it's going to hurt, but, you know, it is what it is, and we're just going to have to find another way to get it done.
Thanks for your time. Best of luck.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks to Mark Natt and Matthew Donald. Matty, before you go too far away, can we just check in on those injuries? So Ollie Barter looks to be a hamstring. Angus Simons, do we have an assessment on that one?
Yeah, it looked to be a hamstring as well. He's certainly got the right one strapped up at this point. He's teasing us a bit, gents, because he's trying to prove that his fitness is good enough to get out there. He's been walking up and down the boundary line, particularly in the latter part of that first term, doing stretches, trying to convince someone that he's able to go back on, but to no avail to this point.
Thank you, Matthew Donald. Our injury updates today for Orthosport Victoria, a Melbourne-based team of experienced surgeons helping you get back to life. Our second quarter coming up for Anytime Fitness, Australia's #1 health and fitness centre, with over 590 clubs nationally and over 5,000 worldwide. When you join one, you join them all. So Simon Petch, the second quarter not too far away. You'll have control of this footy. Daniel Ward for Hit IQ. Any changes that you can forecast once this ball's back in the air?
No, it looks like they're back to normal as such. Probably they've changed the matchup on Cormac, so Pryor's now gone to Charlie Cormac. Earlier in the first quarter was Luke Travers, but it still looked like Charlie was basically doing his own thing and looking to come off and read the footy.
Thanks, Daniel. So a positive here for Brighton. They're kicking to the scoring end of this second term, the Glen Huntley Road end. Scotch kicked a goal down at that end in that first term. Here's Hilda Fisher, handball. Seagar outside the centre square. He goes out wide ahead to Lewis. Ball sits okay for him. Had to grab it. Then Pryor was there. Well, he used him. He didn't. He broke a tackle. He goes into the pocket. And Burnell has taken the mark here for Brighton.
Yeah, just in that little passage there, Dougie Lawrence just didn't affect the tackle and he had him round up and Lewis just walked away from it. And so great vision there. I just noticed that Lewis has started higher up the ground and so Dougie's going to have to do a lot more running work.
So into the first 30 seconds.
Test that knee out, Petchy.
Into the first 30 seconds, Burnell down at the Glen Huntley Road end of the ground for Brighton's first. Oh, he goes across the face and just snuck that one in. So another minor score, taking Brighton on to 3 behinds, 3 points. Scotch on 139 for any time fitness. A minute played in this second term, but Brighton quickly out of the blocks.
Some sunshine's broken through here at Elsternwick Park. We've had overcast grey skies overhead pretty much all morning. We're expecting some rain maybe as well at about 4 o'clock. So the full Monty as far as the weather is concerned. Cormac's got the decision to make from the kick-in. Sends it high and wide, Nepean Highway side. Grant went for a fly off the fist of Flockhart and into the waiting mitts of Tweedy. He's going to send it to the arc of 45 metres. Gregson got underneath the footy a touch. Burnell fed it backwards. Hope kicks it inside 50 blindly. It's picked out there by Walsh. So he's got the ball left half back for Old Scotch, or Brown it is rather, Jack Brown. Apologies, it goes up to Clark, who's a long way from home, leading up along the boundary line, Nepean Highway wing again. You can see those trees blowing a little bit in the backdrop. Clark again, there's just no fluid movement here for either team, so Clark is going to have to go long and high. Tarrant's the tall timber, he got underneath the footy a little bit, the umpire called him to play. Lowen feeds it back to Fisher, he props the handball over to Cork, who got around one tackler, fed it across to McNabb on the bounce. He's on the defensive 45 metre arc, he goes all the way back to fullback and Louis Butler. And he's going to hold on to the footy and assess his options from the very last line for Old Brighton.
So 2 minutes into the second term. Butler's got it. He goes outside the goal square to centre wing, nature reserve side of the ground. It goes over the line out of play. We'll have a ball in. That ball wind blowing right across the face of goal here from the commentary side to the Elsternwick Hotel side, Daniel.
Yeah, so great call, Petchy. Not sure if it is the wind, but both sides not looking to pull off too much through the middle. They're happy to go long down the line and play swim between the flags.
Thrown back in. Both rucks got a hand onto that. Hill swoop. He goes with a kick inside 45. Hope! Marks outside the arc. He looks at Glen Huntley Road end goal square. There was no one there. Running
Lewis.
back is Lewis. Eyes only for the footy. Had it fisted away by Lawrence. A great fist by Lawrence. Lewis is still down on. He gives him a free kick.
Yeah, no, he's...
Okay.
I think he was looking for his forehead on the ground.
One of those ones where you can spoil, hit the ball, hit half his head as well, and and sometimes you get away with it. Good decision there by the umpire to play that.
We do know, Petchy, that Dougie Lawrence has got that irascible nature.
He has, and when you see him coming, you just shut your eyes and hope for the best. Here's Lewis for Brighton's first goal to level the score. Left footer into goal, and he's done it. So finally, at the 3.5 minute mark of the second term, scores are level. Scotch and Brighton have kicked a goal apiece. One in the first term to Clark for Scotch, and now Lewis playing down in that forward 45 arc has kicked their first Brighton of the afternoon.
Old Brighton, they've been strong at throw-ins all season. They're now up to +4 at throw-ins, and that's come straight from their first goal there for the grand final.
And what it's probably they're winning it there, obviously, but that was a much better build-up, and they've done that 3 or 4 times this quarter now, so they use the ball a lot better through the ground.
Yeah, it looks like they've made some adjustments. Soup spoke about that at quarter time, about just being a little bit smarter with their ball use. Lowering the eyes a little bit and then get it in long and deep, one-on-one.
They are famous for that hit up at half-forward too, Brighton. They're starting to hit that now.
So 9 plays 9, scores a level in the second for Anytime Fitness. Flockhart from the middle, kicks it forward. Burnell's going to be tracking after this one. Lipscomb is there for Old Scotch. It pitched off his boot. Here comes Will Lewis again. Walsh has tapped that one over the line. Insufficient intent. It's a hot whistle. We've seen that earlier in this game. Meanwhile, the Tunners and Lewis! Will Lewis, he's picked up where he's left off in the VFL Grand Final. 8 goals through that final series. The first 2 of the game for Old Brighton. They take the lead for the first time today. Daniel Ward for Hit IQ.
Yeah, so you see there, just with Walsh, he could have grabbed that and just taken it over the line. He would have been okay, but just to blatantly tap it like that. You can see the umpire was, as he was running in, was trying to make up his mind of which way he was going to go. He played it deliberate. Will Lewis really quick to seize on that and swing it in for a great goal.
So we know they're going to pay him here, don't we?
It's been 4 or 5 already today.
Already, Old Brighton 14 disposals to Old Scotch 3 to start this quarter.
Well, they've had a fair piece of it. Pat as Dimatina. Wobbly kick inside 45. Lewis at the back. Oh, well done in front. That was by Cormac. Oh, we knew the cavalry was arriving, but he stood tall and took a really good, strong mark. Did Charlie, got it out to Noblet. They go into Pean Highway, side of the ground, do Scotch, chopped off, Montenaro's got it. He brings it back virtually whence it came, up towards Lewis, Noblet, Hope, they're all there. It's fisted over the boundary line and we'll have a ball in. The Pean Highway side, Glenn Hutley rode into the ground here for Brighton.
Look for Scotch to try and get this footy back, control the footy, take a bit of the air out of the game for a little bit. Obviously, Brighton have started this quarter really well. They'll look to control the footy for a little bit.
No goals for half an hour, 2 goals in 2 minutes for Will Lewis. That's the old Brighton occasion thus far. This one's going to be held back into play. Grant and Will Lewis. It's Grant who wins it down. Easton goes chasing after it. Dimatina has the football back to Will Lewis. He's got the hot hand to Burnell, to Hill, who tried to race through a couple of tacklers. He was caught up. Holding the ball, Lawrence looked like he was going to take the free kick. Feeds it back to Brodie Easton. He missed the premiership last year with that foot injury. Ideally, he'd love to be standing on the dais at the end of today. Brodie is going to send it real wide into Pean Highway side. He finds only Felix Flockhart standing in the hole. Read the flight of the footy better than Grant. Off to McNabb, inside 50. Lewis or Jumping Joey! 40 metres out, right forward pocket. For a third in sequence for the Tunners.
This shot on goal was set up by how they actually defended. So we spoke about Scotch wanting to control the footy, switch it. Brighton's defence was on. They had to go long down the line, and they'll set up really well through Flockhart.
Joey Campearly, can the finish match the mark? No, he's kept it skinny. But a mark of the day contender for Sherrin, the number 1 Australian football brand of the country, regardless. The Tunners 2-4-16. On the William Buck scoreboard, Old Scotch 139 with 7.5 down for Anytime Fitness in the second.
Great fly by by Johnny Campearly, but I tell you what, Will Lewis felt the brunt of all of that, that's for sure. Here's Cormac, kicks the ball out of danger and found Stubbings. So Scotch kicking to the scoreboard end in this second term. He has his arms in the air. Henry doesn't know where to go.
Yeah, he's got nowhere to actually shift the footy.
They're not looking lateral at the moment.
No.
Everything's down the line.
Yep.
So he went short to Noblet, who goes to centre. Terrence! Third in line, took the mark over the top of 2 Brighton players and marked it beautifully. Goes out wider here with a kick. He goes out there and he
50.
Found Henry Brown.
Felix Flockhart.
And a free kick has been found, and Grant will take it here for Scotch.
And how was that set up, Hugo? So Noblet had the ball in the halfback flank, could have gone long, high down the line like they have been doing, had the minerals, if you like, to go through the middle of the ground, pull the trigger, which he did, and it ends up in a shot on goal.
Yeah, so obviously that off-the-ball stuff, but as I was saying before, no one's brave enough to come lateral at the moment. There's got to be a lot going on. There's
and a 50 as well,
No, I think it's a card.
So it's Tarrant being
Tarrant's got a
50. It's a 50.
Yeah.
It's from the goal line.
So I think the story here is that whether it's a greater advantage for James Tarrant to be advanced 50 metres or from where the downfield free kick is, and because the 50 would take him further than the downfield free kick, Tarrant gets the shot.
Well, once again, as you and I spoke about, Wardy, Marcel will be furious about this as well, because there was 50-50 ball back up the ground where they could have defended. You can't defend this when the umpire gives it to him, Pecci.
So scoreboard into the ground here, Hugo, and Tarrant looking at his first goal of the afternoon directly in front. The Scotch faithful behind the goals will tell the story. He missed. He missed directly in front, James Tarrant. And Scotch 1-4-10, Brighton 2-4-16. A bad miss at the scoreboard end. We've gone 9.5 in this second term.
Uncharacteristic from James Tarrant. Lipscomb and Dick will fight over it in the air. Dick wins the day. Defensive side of the wing here, broadcast side. Hamish Dick sends it as long and as high as he can. Joey Campearly's around the place. He was bodied out early by Noblet. 2 VFL talents going hammer and tong in the defensive half for Old Scotch. And they'll move this ball. They'll cut the angle to Frenetic, who needed to hold on. Dimatina was steaming up to it. The lift doors were closing. Aiden holds on. Skims it along the wing here. Tarrant front spot. That'll make him feel better. He holds on. He turns quickly. Again, the 45 option, this time for Noblet. Again, though, Tarrant, the kick let him down. Easton's after the ball at centre half forward. Here comes Dick. He takes a bounce through the centre of Elsternwick Park. He kicks it towards Jamie Hope. He will take it on the bounce. He zigs and zags around Walsh. He hit the snap pretty poorly, it must be said. Here's Joey Campili. Charlie Cormack has him under lock and key. In the right forward pocket, it'll be thrown up. Old Brighton pressing. They lead this one 16-10 on the William Buck scoreboard.
Gee, defending well here, Scotch. They're under pressure, but gee, they're defending well.
They're really hard, defending hard. Tarrant's gone in the ruck. There's a block here in the ruck. Yeah. Free kick to Dick.
That's unfortunate here for Scotch. So Hamish to take the free kick here for Brighton. They lead 2-4-16. Scotch 1-4-10. Here you go.
Yeah, you think about this now, that one that Tarrant missed down the other end.
Yeah.
That'll be going through his head quite a lot now. So I know that Matty's throwing him in the ruck to try and get him in the game and get him moving again. But this will be a massive goal for Brighton if they can nail this one.
So wind blowing in his face here. Nepean Highway side of the ground. Hamish Dick goes into goal and he misses. Real skinny that kick. No reaction behind the goals there. And a minor score to Brighton, taking them on to 2-4-16. Scotch on 2-5-17. Scotch on 1-4-10 for Anytime Fitness 11 played in this second term.
We'll get down to Matty Donald, but it looks like it's quite tricky there for set shots in particular with this breeze.
So here they go again, the Cards, and they're just starting to find the corridor on a few of these kicks. Andy Gelbart, the skipper, took the mark, kicked it for Hayes, who was streaking towards the broadcast wing, tried to go with the flight of the ball. Farah picks it up, flicks it by hand towards Townsend. He just throws the handball indiscriminately over the shoulder, and Montanaro is taken over the white line. This one's going to be thrown in attacking side of the wing for Old Scotch. For Anytime Fitness, 12 minutes gone in the second term. Pat Cortazzo for Premier Data.
Complete flip now, Old Brighton. 8 ground balls to 0, Old Scotch. So they're up in contested possession and looking strong.
So Tarrant and Lewis, the key forwards, opposed to each other for this ruck contest. Lots of space behind this contest. Should it escape there, it won't. It'll be fallen upon by a big pack of players, and the umpire's seen enough there.
So a low-scoring game. 7 shots to 5. Brighton lead 2-5-17. Scotch on 1-4-10. Ruck contest takes place. Lewis brought to ground here. And a high tackle against Easton. And he will take this one, Will. Takes his time getting up here too. He's at half-back, scoreboard side of the ground, commentary side of the ground. He goes to Dimatina. He marks just in front of the interchange. On centre wing, commentary side, Burnell led, but Dimatina looks backwards and he goes backwards. Back to Montanaro Yorgi, who goes to Fisher, and it fished it away over the boundary line, and we'll have a ball in, and Lipscomb holding his rib cage.
Geez, they're sore, some of these Scotch boys. They really are. They'll be nice and sore at the end of this game, but they're hanging tough at the moment.
So you can see him wincing there, Jack, as he got back up off the ground, but straight back into position inside 45 here for Scotch. Defensively thrown back in, Tarrant front of the pack. Lewis tried to break a tackle, got a kick in. Hayes went through him, Travers went through him, Gregson won't go through him. Handball found McNabb, right foot, left foot kick, Campili, and Joey takes the mark directly in front of goal here for Brighton.
Clearance is now 8-0 in favour of Old Brighton in this quarter.
Yeah, and just Gregson there, that was a very, very hard ball to get. Yeah. He wasn't going to let it past him, and then just on the back of that. And just the advantage of Campili being in front there, because the Scotch defenders probably weren't expecting that to come in.
So Joey, Glen Hutley Road end of the ground, looking at their third goal of the afternoon to stretch the margin to 13 points. And he's done it. So Joe Campili kicks his first goal of the afternoon here for Brighton. That takes them on to 3-5-23. Scotch on 1-4-10. And for Anytime Fitness, we have gone just on 14 minutes in this second term.
Daniel Ward for Hit IQ. Joey Campili's on a tear.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all coming from the middle of the ground. So the ability for Brighton to win the contest around the centre of the ground, and a lot of it's not pretty. They're scrapping it on the boot, they're getting it forward, they're putting Scotch's defenders under pressure. All you want as a forward is quick ball movement, one-on-one, and Joey read that a lot quicker than his opponent.
The young star with a bright future. Last year's Anytime Fitness Rising Star across the VAFA, Joey Campearly. He's had his say already on grand final day. Here's Andy Gelbart. It's an attempted soccer that bounced into McNabb. Goes towards centre half forward for Old Scotch. Harry Hill, he's fallen into by Frenetic, and the umpire will call for the football. Halfway through just about in this second term. Old Brighton has kicked the last 3 goals of the game. 2 to Lewis, 1 to Campearly. The big boys involved. Hill was dragged off his kick. Butler's in there for Old Brighton once again. They all fall atop the share, and once again we're going nowhere.
Scots were in this position several times last week where you nearly wrote them off, and they looked in a lot of trouble, so this is a crucial part of the game.
Felix Flockhart tried to take it out of the ruck. Fisher maybe tackled without the umpire. Told him to play. Farrow wades his way through. Back to Grant inside 50. Tawney by himself. He found a patch of grass. Jake Tawney, he held on to the snap. He'll go back from a slight angle. 41 metres out. Scoreboard end here at Elsternwick Park.
In the context of the game, it's a very important kick for Scotch because Brighton have kicked the last couple. I know that last week they came out very strong after half-time, Scotch. I think they kicked 5 in a row then, but they've got to get through to half-time and not let this scoreboard pressure build.
His first year at Old Scotch, Jake Tawney. Out of Queensland and then Kai Abram. This one's going to the right-hand side of the stick. Just, he misses. Old Scotch 1 goal, 5 on the William Buck scoreboard. They're 11. Old Brighton 3-5-23. 16 gone for Anytime Fitness in the second term.
He had the right kick there. It just didn't come back with that breeze, which is blowing right across to the Nepean Highway side of the ground. Now, that kick's travelled all of the way to centre wing from the kick in. And the umpire says ball this one in.
Pat Cortazzo, just briefly for Premier Data.
Yeah, we talked about the stoppages, and so far for this quarter for Old Brighton, all their scores have come from clearances.
17 gone in this second term, 23 playing 11. Brighton have the lead. They arrested it in this second term. Dimartina didn't break a tackle. He got around easily. Left foot kick up towards Joe Campearly. It goes over him and Jack Brown, and it goes over the line out of play. Nepean Highway side of the ground. Glen Huntly Road end of the ground.
Yeah, so you'd probably look at this stage of the quarter, I'd be looking at the Scotch mids, with those rotations down. When's the fatigue going to start to kick in? So you'd be thinking about now.
Thrown back in. Grant got one from Flockhart from behind, but umpire said play on. Ball hits the deck, and again, about 55 out from Brighton's goal, attacking to the Glen Huntly Road end of the ground in this second term. Thrown in the air. Flockhart gets a kick. High tackle. Grant takes it here. Free kick Scotch's way. We've gone nearly 18 minutes in this second term. 23 playing 11, 8 shots to 6, and Grant has the free kick out of sight of the ground.
Had Stubbings peeling around for the handball received at Grant, but here's Angus Jones instead. Defensive point of the centre square. Jones along the Nepean Highway wing, kicks it sort of in between Henry Brown and Will Clark, and it comes unstuck. Hill was after it at ground level, couldn't take the ball cleanly. Fisher as well. It's all pretty willing stuff. Eventually Townsend for Old Scotch. Kicks it up to about halfway. Lawrence has gone forward here, I reckon. He competed for that ball against Felix Flockhart. Couldn't bring it down. Cork is there. McNabb receives the handball, swings the left boot kick blindly up the line. Fisher had to stand and wait and wear the contact, which he did. And Hill takes the ball and goes inside 50. Pryor from the fly, with the fly from behind. Couldn't bring it down. Got loose. Handball to Joey Campearly. One more to Edgar. He's run down. He's mown down to the square. Had no Pryor, did Angus Edgar. It'll be thrown out 3 metres from goal.
I think Lawrence has gone forward because there's not really a match-up for him at the moment in Old Brighton's forward line. They've gone pretty small. You've got Brady down there as well, so you don't need both of those boys.
No, they're small and fast down there. So.
Grant over the top of Joey Campearly. This one's dribbling towards the boundary line. There was a flying soccer that goes across the face of goal and over and out in the opposite forward pocket. So we've switched from the right to the left here at the Glen Huntly Road end of Elsternwick Park. It'll be thrown in just beside the behind post, 10 metres out from the Old Brighton goal. 19
gone in this second term. Plenty of support behind the goals down here for Brighton at the Glen Huntly Road end of the ground. Thrown in. Rucks don't go at it. Oh, free kicks going Scotch's way against Hamish Dick. And Grant will take this one here for Scotch.
Yeah, just looking at Dave Lawrence now, he's on Campbell Tweedy as well, so that's got to be
He kicked it straight into Hamish Dick. He then tried to right a wrong here, Sam Grant. He held Hamish up and will have a ball up inside 45. Bad kick.
Don't let Ruckman kick it inside defensive 45.
Just don't let him kick it.
Thrown in the air. Grant got that one down. Noblet standing still. Handball. Lipscomb goes out wider here. Now Stubbings gets the kick. Out for Scotch. Outside defensive 45 to Townsend. Yorgie, well, he held on to him, Townsend. No free kick going Brighton's way. It may come back. Oh, Lawrence. Head down, bum up. Went right through. He ended up holding the football up against Travers. And we'll have a ball up centre wing, between centre wing and half forward out of side of the ground. Bathed in sunshine, Elsternwick Park down here today, and a bit of a breeze now that's picked up going across the ground from Commentary to Elsternwick Hotel side. Handball over the top here, frenetic. He couldn't grab hold of it, and he's given a high tackle off here. And the umpire said no, we'll have a ball up centre wing out of side of the ground.
Just one thing to watch here, boys. Obviously, they're short through the middle of the ground, so I'll be looking to use Hayes and Stubbings, who are good runners on the wing, especially if they're not going to go wide and they're coming through the middle. Use them through the middle of the ground.
Yorgie to Burnell, who kicks up towards half forward. Charlie Cormack came across as a spare.
That's what he does best. He's letting his player go up to the ball and he's just waiting for it to come in at the moment. When they're coming in high like that, that's his bread and butter.
That's easy. Yeah.
So from the left half-back flank, up the line he goes. Flockhart from behind on Tarrant. Neither could bring the ball down. Frenetic wades his way through to Gelbart. Nice 15-metre handball through the corridor here for Old Scotch and Tawney. He's just got to chase down the bouncing footy. Couldn't take it. Butler could. Of Old Brighton to Yorgie to Tweedy, and through the corridor now. In turn go the Tunners. Flockhart marks. He turns. He goes inside 50 for Will Lewis. Who had the positioning on Walsh. Tries to suck a 50 out of Brady. Will he get it? No.
No, he's lucky there.
So Will Lewis, he's not going to be popular on the Old Scotch sections of the crowd here at Elsternwick Park. Hugo, for your IQ.
Yeah, that was all off the back of Tweedy, just with the intercept and that movement from the back half of the ground. Because Lawrence had come up, but Lawrence can't get back. And Tweedy's just waiting there. Yeah. So you've almost got to put Lawrence as the deepest and keep him out the back. Because Tweedy started, and I love that matchup of him on Tweedy. What could go wrong there between those two?
Not much.
Yeah, no, exactly.
For a 3-goal Old Brighton lead and for his third of the second term, Will Lewis. No. And he's filthy with himself as well, big Will Lewis.
Directly in front.
3-6-24, the Tunners, 1-5-11, Old Scotch.
Brady just knocked his mouth guard out of his hand too.
Good little contest there. That's terrific. Both players just going at it 100 miles an hour. For the love of their side, they want to do the best they can. So down at the Glen Huntley Road end of the ground, Cormack to kick the ball back. He's not sure where to go. He wants to go outside 45, out of side of the ground, and he does. Goes up, Tarrant went through his arms. Out the back, Clark brought to ground. Good tackle laid on him. Now Tawney, he busted his way through. Handball came back to Burnell. Goes into the pocket and out of bounds on the full for Brighton. Resultant free kick going Charlie Cormack's way.
I'd like to see Scotch try and bring it to this closer side of the grandstand side of the ground. Everything's been on that far side. They want to try and open the game up and get away from that congestion.
I think credit to Old Brighton for that. The way they've set up, they're really quick to cut that off. Here's one here. They'll look to switch if they can, but
they've got to be brave here, don't they? Take it off.
You can see Frenetic just about wheeling around there, Wardy.
He's gone for it.
Yeah, he's gone for it.
Beautiful.
Here it is to Noblet.
It's a balancing act because you don't want to be too far down, but you've got to have a crack at it.
So Scotch will get out to Jones, broadcast wing, bathed in sunshine. The 45 kick to Townsend is good. There's players leaking inside 50. Townsend's going to go there. It's a well-weighted kick coming up to the footy. And taking it, though, crucially was Montanaro of Old Brighton. He'll work the 1-2. He kicks it towards us, broadcast side. Will Lewis and Hamish Dick down there. Cormack front spot. Had hands to it. Lewis dispossessed by Brady Edgar. Sharp hands. Travers. Joey Campeely inside 50 again. So Joey, who's got the leg from here at centre-half forward. It's been the Campeely and Lewis show here, Hugo.
Yeah, well, they've got to thank Montanaro for that. That coming through the intercept because Scotch were out. So he had the brains and the gumption to come forward and so I'm going to take that intercept mark, and then they were able to use it through the middle of the ground because Scotch were running forward.
A tougher day in the second semi-final. He was held goalless by Alex Tregar. He's back in the grand final, Joey Campeely. He's kicked it long, but to the right-hand side. It's just been his finishing today that's let him down, Daniel Ward.
Yeah, what we're noticing is every one of the marks that Campeely and Lewis are taking, they're nearly uncontested and they've got one-on-one footy. So it's the ability, they're stopping Scotch from coming back and actually coming off and helping.
So Noblet out of from the kicking, goes centre wing. Oh, gee, mark taken here by Butler. Eyes only for the footy. Jones nowhere near him. Centre wingy, Brian takes it back. Virtually whence it came. Lawrence will set himself. Fisted away there by Joe Campilli. They go to ground and Lawrence all over them as he gets Seagar and picks him up off the ground. Good tackle laid on him inside 45 here for Brighton. Thrown in the air. Lewis meant to grab it out of the ruck. Tarrant got there first. Handball Brady along the ground at Noblet, who he was good enough to get out of that. He found Cormac inside defensive 45. They go centre half back. Out of sight of the ground, Noblet broke a tackle. Hayes standing still. Bad handball. Comes back here for Brighton. Lawrence from the back. Campilli. No one can take the mark. Dicker handball went along the ground. Found here Jamie Hope. Right foot kick around the body. And Dimartina's taken the mark here for Brighton in the right forward pocket.
Yeah, a bit of carnage after that last contest out there. And a couple of blokes were really, really hard. And with the frenetic pace of that, as we'll see, it's... an easy shot on goal to an uncontested mark.
And Brady's sucking him in. He's coming off the ground here. As Dimartina, the recipient of all of that play for Brighton here to kick. Look at the kicking there, 4th of the afternoon. Nepean Highway side, Glenn Huntley Road into the ground. He's missed it, nearly out of bounds on the full. Taking Brighton on to 3.8.26. Scotch on 1.5.11 for Anytime Fitness. 26 gone in this first term. Second term.
They're on the ropes here, Scotch. They're just hanging on. They'll be waiting for half-time when they can assess the damage. They've got some sore boys left, right and centre, so they're just trying to hang on here and reassess
for off the Sport Victoria, James Brady he crossed through the interchange gates and then fell straight to his knees on his haunches for a good 10 seconds. Down the line goes Scotch. Clark in a sandwich of tunners.
It is a nice new haircut, Clark Scott there, Peter.
Sure is. No hair on the eyes there today, and I'm used to that.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And Wardy.
Do you pay for one haircut and do the next one free?
Yeah, and I tell them to keep it neat. Don't mess it up.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Broadcast side, this will be thrown in. Old Scotch down to 2 on the bench with Simons likely out of the game and Barter certainly done for the day, so they can't afford James Brady to be sore as well. Here goes Andy Gelbart on a storming run. Kicks it deep inside 50. 1-on-one's back with the flight. Townsend and Lowen. Lowen will beat him in the foot race. Paddles to his own advantage. It just about bounced off the bonce there of Maxi Lowen, who now wants the boundary and he'll get it. Maybe a free kick as well. No, the umpire says it's a 0-all draw. 35 metres out from the Old Scotch goal. Will be thrown in. 27 minutes down for Anytime Fitness in the second, Daniel Ward.
Just running out of options a little bit, Scotch. I don't think they wanted to look up, and Will Townsend isn't probably the target that they want to go to inside forward 45.
They've got to find some small forwards with Simons out of the game. Townsend, that might be his role for the rest of it. Here's Clark and Flockhart. Clark tried to take it out the back of the ruck as it carried the rucks. Hill was dragged off the footy. Flockhart feeds Montanaro, who's been excellent out of centre half back. That kick towards Finn Campilli instead finds the fist of Alex Noblet. Out of play Nepean Highway wing. Neutral territory, and you can see the Ruffles pavilion of sorts. What's that, a gazebo?
Yep.
So that wind is still blowing out there, Simon Petch.
That sure is. It's picked up since quarter time, that's for sure, but the sun's come out. So no rain at the moment. Brilliant sunshine on Elsternwick Park. Here's Easton from the ruck contest. He got it from Grant, had to get around with it from a tackle. He found Hayes close to the boundary line. They saw it over. Centre wing out of side. We'll have a ball in. 28 gone, second term. Brighton lead. 3.8.26. Scotch on 1.5.11.
Yeah, just give it a little bit because we have to look at the radar. There is something coming through, so it looks like it's going to be a bit substantial.
We don't trust that.
No, we don't. Even though are they a sponsor of ours?
Here's Fisher. He gets a kick up towards half forward for Brighton. Out of sight of the ground. Seagar rode it well. Read it well. He got it. Tried to fist it there to Lewis. Now Noblet gets in the way here for Scotch. Handball back to Cormac. He went one way then the other. Edgar had him. Handball close to the boundary line. Goes over the line out of play. The umpire says ball it in. Inside 45 here for Brighton. We'll have a ball in.
Scotch squeezing up the ground here to try and get numbers back to help their defenders out. They want to go in the half-time, 3-1.
Just holding out here, Mark Nat's team. We'll hear from a few players at half-time. Louis Butler of the Tunners will join us for a chat with Cal Cummins. That's coming up in a moment. Meanwhile, in front of us, Grant flicks it down, taken by Butler. The Fisher and the Tunners go towards the arc of 45. Seagar on the second attempt, handballs for his own advantage. Lewis is there once again. It's over and out. So playing boundary line football, Daniel Ward, with only minutes remaining in the half.
Yeah, we keep saying it, just getting numbers to the contest, trying to hold on. Even though Brighton have dominated this quarter, they haven't quite gotten away yet.
Grant and Flockhart spikes it forward. Here comes Travers and Cormac. Both went past the footy. That might leave some space for Finn Campilli. He couldn't gather either. It's desperate willing stuff inside 45 for the Tunners. Hope is there. He was tackled off the footy. Pryor handball through. Finn Campilli, the shot won't make the distance. It sails, and eventually it was either a mark to Jack Brown or a behind. It's the latter. So another minor score for the Tunners on the William Buck scoreboard. They're 3-8-26. Old Scotch 1-5-11. For Anytime Fitness, we've just ticked past the 30th minute of the second quarter.
So kick back in. Noblet goes in shorter here. Lipscomb takes the mark here for Scotch. 27 playing 11, 30 gone in this second term. Brighton have the lead. They've outscored Scotch in this second term. Kick towards half back here for Scotch. No mark taken. There's Noblet again. He's had a real good second term for his team. Handball found Henry Brown. Kick for luck up towards centre wing, and Grant takes the mark before Cork could get there. Scotch on the move out wider here. Oh, Hayes. He dropped what he should have taken. He had it before before acceptance, as Montanaro spoiled him beautifully, and the ball dribbled over the line out of play.
All he had to do was take possession there, because Clark had done a power of work to get one out in the forward line, and he's still one out there getting back to him now, but he would have been out then.
So ball to be thrown back in, out of sight of the ground. Grant, Flockhart. Grant tried to grab it out of the ruck. Fisher goes towards the boundary line. They see it over. Another ball in.
Matthew Donald on the boundary. An injury update for Author Sport Victoria.
Yeah, guys, James Brady's been limping up and down the boundary line for the last few minutes. He's given me personally the thumbs up.
I think he's just given you a little bit of a serve as well on the way past Matty Donald. All in good fun. Thank you for that. So James Brady looks to be okay.
Langer Simons is still walking around the boundary line here too. He wants to come back on.
Felix
he's trying to be around his team.
From the restart, that's touched off the boot, so the Cormac mark won't count. The umpire will take pity, but the Tunners come away with the ball. It's busted inside 50 by Will Lewis. That might go! And Will Lewis has kicked 3 goals in the second term. And Old Brighton have landed a punch. 4-9-33, plays 1-5-11, a 22-point Tunners lead. For Anytime Fitness, we're well beyond 30 minutes gone in the second term.
That's the type of talent that Will Lewis brings to the table. He's ripped this game apart. It's obviously a low-scoring game. He's kicked 3 goals in the quarter, and he's the difference at the moment.
Yeah, I like the celebration too. The double cobra. Probably well-earned double cobra too, but he was outside the arc. That's a massive kick.
So back into the middle, 3 for Lewis. He's had a terrific game so far. Flockhart held on to there by Grant, and Felix will get the free kick inside the centre square. So Brighton about to go forward again. Glenn Hutley rode into the ground. 22 points the margin.
That ball's gone right out to the wing, and that is an absolute win for Scotch, because they can get every player behind the ball.
Sam Grant lining up.
32 and a half gone, so it's coming back. 22 points the margin. Brighton have the lead, 13 shots to 6. So that really tells the tale of this second term as well. Brighton have really opened up. They had a very slow start to the game scoring-wise in this first quarter, but Flockhart goes centre-half forward. Flyers everywhere. Good mark. Grant in front. If that's not one of the marks of the day, I'll go he for Tiggy. He had about 4 behind him there, Sam.
Fantastic. Hugo spoke about the fact that it was a slow play, gave Grant time to get behind the footy.
Yep, and he took the mark beautifully. One of the good contested marks. Lipscomb ends up with it. Siren goes. Half-time in the grand final down here at Elsternwick Park. And Brighton go in with a 22-point lead. 4-9-33, leading Old Scotch on 1-5-11. That quarter elapsing 33 minutes.
A 31 points to 2 second quarter for the Tunners. It set them apart here in the 2025 grand final. 3 goals to Will Lewis, 1 to Joey Campilli in the quarter. The 1 goal for Old Scotch came off the boot of Will Clark at the 4-minute mark of the first term, and since then it's been entirely Old Brighton. Let's go down to Cal Cummins. He's got their halfback superstar Louis Butler beside him.
Yeah, gents, Louis Butler alongside me, mate. A lot to like in that first half. Looking from the defensive side, didn't have to do a lot in that second turn. The ball's been living in your forward line.
No, yeah, I think our forward pressure, like Geordie Seegers, Jamie Hope, putting heaps of pressure on, not letting them come out. I feel like every time they get the ball, they're getting tackled. No, they're just getting caught on the ball, just chucking on the boot, and then perfect for us defenders to just sweep up. So,
anything you'd expect to change in this second half? Because the ways that things are going, it's going very nice for you guys.
No, we've had a few matchups, like a few of us boys, like
for us on their smalls and a couple of our keys, and we're fighting hard. And I don't think we need to change anything. Just keep fighting, and yeah, we're good out here.
All right, let's get a bit of a roost.
Thanks to Cal Cummins and Louis Butler. Let's check on the Old Scotch side of things. Matthew Donald has Aidan Frenetic.
Yeah, I've got Aidan with me. Aidan, they started to get on top a bit in that second term.
Yeah, finals are a game of momentum. They had it all quarter. It's only 22 points. Happened last week. We're in this position. We'll just regroup and go from there.
Is that going to be the key message at halftime, just to regroup and go again?
Absolutely. We've got confidence in our ability as a team. We can score goals quick, so it's just pressure on the ball. They probably got a bit forward of us out the front. So, just pressure on the ball, get back to basics, and, have confidence that we've done it before.
I'll let you go. Best of luck for the second half.
Thanks.
Half-time here at Elsternwick Park in the VAFA 2025 Grand Final. It is Old Brighton who have the lead. Stick around. The Holmes-Glen half-time show coming up right after this.
The VAFA's Night of Nights is just around the corner. Join us at the VAFA Awards Night as we celebrate our league best and fairest winners, induct our newest life members and present the premiership flags. Wednesday, October 8 at Lakeside Pavilion in Albert Park. Get your tickets now at vafa.com.au.
Stay up to date with all the latest from the Victorian Amateur Football Association with the brand new VAFA app. Stay connected with live scores, fixtures, stats and news from across the Victorian Amateur Football Association right at your fingertips. Download the VAFA app today from the App Store or Google Play and never miss a moment.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Hey guys, introducing GYG's $12 chicken mini meal. It's the ultimate value bundle. A mini chicken burrito or bowl, medium Chipotle seasoned fries, and a bottle of water or a soft drink of your choice. It's cheaper than cooking at home. Love ya.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Hey guys, introducing GYG's $12 chicken mini meal. It's the ultimate value bundle. A mini chicken burrito or bowl, medium Chipotle seasoned fries, and a bottle of water or a soft drink of your choice. It's cheaper than cooking at home. Love ya.
The VAFA's Night of Nights is just around the corner. Join us at the VAFA Awards Night as we celebrate our league best and fairest winners, induct our newest life members and present the premiership flags. Wednesday, October 8th at the Lakeside Pavilion in Albert Park. Get your tickets now at vafa.com.au.
Stay up to date with all the latest from the Victorian Amateur Football Association with the brand new VAFA app. Stay connected with live scores, fixtures, stats and news from across the Victorian Amateur Football Association right at your fingertips. Download the VAFA app today from the App Store or Google Play and never miss a moment.
Elsternwick Park, and it's half-time in the VAFA 2025 Grand Final. We are playing for the Premiership Cup, which is just to the right of me here, and at half-time it is the Tunners, Old Brighton, who have one hand on it. 4-goal second term, seeing them hold a 22-point lead at the main break. 4-9-33 over Old Scotch, 1-1-11. Matthew Dodd is my name. Pat Cortaza with me. Pat, your thoughts on how that first half played out? It was a tale of two halves, really.
It was a tale of two quarters there with Old Scotch. They got out of the gate really well, plus 18 contested possession, plus 11 ground balls, but they just completely flipped in that second quarter, plus 15 contested possession to Old Brighton and plus 8 ground balls from that. But really for me, where it really turned was the fact from the throw-ins in that second quarter. They were plus 8 Old Brighton from throw-ins. I don't think Old Scotch won 1, and they kicked 3 goals, 1 from it. So it's really important going into the second half now that Old Scotch do a few things at that area.
And in terms of Old Brighton getting on top of the clearances in the first half, we saw them allowed, as a result, to get a lot of forward ball inside 50. Will Lewis and Cam Pearley both catching in and converting their opportunities.
Yeah, and like looking at the first quarter, they had the 12 inside 50s and 9 of them were rebounded straight out. They didn't even keep it in there. And then when you start winning some throw-ins and it's a bit more kind of 1v1 and you can get out the front door from throw-ins, you start to get looks on goal, and that's what they did.
For Old Scotch, what do they need to do, do you think, to get back into this game in the second half?
Well, it's tough because the uncontested mark game is something they really need, but when you go 2 down on the bench and you're trying to run and break lines and actually go with width, it makes it really hard. So for them, it's really probably about actually maybe have an extra number at stoppage, try and actually win that first, and then look to see if you can actually set up and control a bit more of the ball.
Well, we'll see how with great anticipation how that all plays out in the second half. We'll head back upstairs now to our commentary team, Simon Petch, Dan Ward, Hugo Higginbotham and Paddy Grinley.
Matthew and Pat, thank you very much for all your hard work today. As you mentioned, the half-time score, the Tunners 4-9-33, Old Scotch 1-5-11. The Cards, they kicked the first goal of the afternoon. Will Clark at the 4-minute mark of the first term. They haven't kicked one since. Will Lewis has 3 to his name. Joey Campearley with 1. It's the Tunners by 22 points. And for Hit IQ, Daniel Ward and Hugo Higginbotham are with us. Your views on that first half, Daniel? It was a superb effort, especially in the second term for Old Brighton.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, the game didn't start all that well with Old Scotch losing 2 very early in the game. And they've really got some sore boys out there. So here at half-time, it's perfectly well set for Old Brighton. But as we said in the call, Scotch were here last week and previous weeks before that. So no doubt Natty will be looking at throwing the magnets around a little bit like he did at half-time last week. Me personally, I'll be looking to get Stubbings and Hayes and these boys through the middle of the ground to give them the legs and maybe anchor Will Clark forward of the footy and see if they can take a catch and kick a few goals.
Hugo, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, they definitely didn't capitalise. They didn't have many entries that quarter, but when they did, it was sort of not a great entry and it was hard to capitalise. So I'd like to see them take the game on a little bit, move to this laterally to this side of the ground, just try and open it up. But Brighton are doing a good job of not letting them go that side of the ground and, taking away their possession game.
5 goals kicked in the first half of the grand final. Let's just take a look at those. It's been a really impressive performance, I think, from the Old Brighton defenders as well. You mentioned Quinton Montanaro, who's come up to the footy from his fullback position. A couple of times has been superb, but also Louis Butler, the way he's been able to wheel and deal out of the back pocket, Hugo. It's just been superb.
Yeah, and they've used the ball really well from that part of the ground. But it's the way the balls come in as well, because, Scotch are getting so many up to the ball, try and maintain that possession. And then when they do get forward, it's hard for them to get back. So it's always going to be tough. And I mean, what's the worst part about it is for Scotch is it's come back pretty quickly and aggressively from Brighton, and they've been able to capitalise. It could have been a lot worse for Scotch, though. They kicked badly too. So.
Well, one thing we haven't seen, Daniel, is Scotch move that ball across the ground like they normally do. We haven't seen much of that. The first time we saw that was halfway through this second turn. They got it to full forward, then that was chopped off and brought straight back. So we haven't seen much of that by Scotch in this game so far.
Yeah, and I think that happens when you're a couple down in your rotations, and obviously Brighton are dominating throughout the middle of the ground, so they're chasing tail, if you like, the whole time. So when they get the footy back, they don't have the legs to transition the footy and move it as quickly as they can. But you're right, when they're fresh at the start of this third quarter, they really need to take the game on.
Are there any coaching levers you might be thinking about pulling, Hugo Higginbotham? We talk frequently about James Tarrant's ability ahead of the footy. Is there a chance he goes behind just to drive some of that Old Scotch intercept game?
Well, he's one that I've been thinking of because he's had no impact on the game at all, and he's such a dangerous player. I put him behind the ball. He's definitely got to spend a bit more time in the ruck, I think, and maybe even I'd put him on a wingboard. Try something just to get some run out of him and get him around the ball.
Yeah, I think open up the forward 45 for Will Clark and Jones, who's also been very quiet. He's had a fantastic final series. Brighton have done a great job on him. Let's open the forward 45 up for those two to go to work and put a score on the board for Scott.
And this is always coming for Jones as well, because he's been the one in the game last week, so you've got to put a lot of work into him.
Brighton with the best of the grand final to date. Matthew Donald and Pat Cortazzo, let's go back down to you.
Thank you for that, gentlemen. And the state of play here now at halftime is that it is Old Brighton who hold the 22-point advantage over Old Scotch at the moment. Old Scotch were in this position last week and found a way to win. Can they do it again? All the Tunners break through for that first elusive Premier's Premiership. Stick around. The second half coming up right after this.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Hey guys, introducing GYG's $12 chicken mini meal. It's the ultimate value bundle. A mini chicken burrito or bowl, medium Chipotle seasoned fries, and a bottle of water or a soft drink of your choice. It's cheaper than cooking at home. Love ya.
The VAFA's Night of Nights is just around the corner. Join us at the VAFA Awards Night as we celebrate our league best and fairest winners, induct our newest life members and present the premiership flags. Wednesday, October 8th at the Lakeside Pavilion in Albert Park. Get your tickets now at vafa.com.au.
Stay up to date with all the latest from the Victorian Amateur Football Association with the brand new VAFA app. Stay connected with live scores, fixtures, stats and news from across the Victorian Amateur Football Association right at your fingertips. Download the VAFA app today from the App Store or Google Play and never miss a moment.
The VAFA's Night of Nights is just around the corner. Join us at the VAFA Awards Night as we celebrate our league best and fairest winners, induct our newest life members and present the premiership flags. Wednesday, October 8 at Lakeside Pavilion in Albert Park. Get your tickets now at vafa.com.au.
Stay up to date with all the latest from the Victorian Amateur Football Association with the brand new VAFA app. Stay connected with live scores, fixtures, stats and news from across the Victorian Amateur Football Association right at your fingertips. Download the VAFA app today from the App Store or Google Play and never miss a moment.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Hey guys, introducing GYG's $12 chicken mini meal. It's the ultimate value bundle. A mini chicken burrito or bowl, medium Chipotle seasoned fries, and a bottle of water or a soft drink of your choice. It's cheaper than cooking at home. Love ya.
Welcome back to Elsternwick Park, the second half of the 2025 Grand Final. Not too far away, and it is Old Brighton who hold a 22-point advantage over Old Scotch as things stand. Matthew Don's my name. I've got Cal Cummins with me. Cal, you've been into both. You've been into the inner sanctum for both coaches during the halftime break. We'll start with Old Brighton, who are in front, and Marcel Bruin would be pretty happy with how the team responded that second term. What did he have to say to the boys at the main break?
That was absolutely the first message that he said. The contested ball is a much better response in that second term. They were always first to the ball, and when Scotch got their hands on it, they were tackling hard. Joey Campilli, I noticed well, could not get his hands off the share, and he was wanting that football as much as he wanted. But they were trying to close in the uncontested marks of Scotch around the defensive zone. As for the Cardinals, it has been a lot of moving magnets is what we're expecting in this second half. They're going to try and move everyone around the park to give themselves the best chance at goal. On the contrary, Mark Nat was very pleased about them when they're in possession of the ball, slowing it down, getting it on their terms before Brighton, because they are getting their hands on it. They're going very quickly.
Yeah, with down to 2 on the bench, there's a lot of magnets that Mark Nat is going to have to move to try and overhaul this 22-point deficit. They did it last week. Can they do it again today? Let's head back up to the commentary box with the team led by Paddy Grinley.
Matty, Cal, thanks for your hard work. Half-time here at Elsternwick Park, 33 playing 11, a 22-point lead for the Tunners. Daniel Ward for Hit IQ. You had your eye on the Old Scotch players as they ran back onto Elsternwick Park. They're a sore lot.
They are a very sore lot. So, they've been brave the last 5 or 6 weeks. We spoke during the week about whether the dam wall will break at some stage. So they'll be looking to hang tough as much as they can. As the boys spoke about on the boundary line, Natty to swing the magnets around, get some fresh legs through the middle of the ground. And this is why the first 10 minutes are really crucial here to this grand final. That if Scotch can throw some things around, get the ball going their way, Will Clark can take some grabs up forward. They're still in this contest, but it's really crucial that they hang tough.
So just on that as well, I just noticed that the hit-out count is 41 Scotch to 12 Brighton. So that means they're getting first hand on the ball there. They were smashed in the midfield that quarter realistically. So clearance is going to be crucial because if they can get a few of those clearances early, get it down there, and then, get old Brighton thinking, geez, we kicked 9 points, get a bit of that reverse scoreboard pressure going, and that you're going to have that thought that they're coming all the time. So we need to see that from Scotch.
Our halftime show is for Holmes Glen, a major partner of the VAFA. For over 10 years, our third term comes to you for Altex. Invest in alternative real estate debt. Visit altex.com.au. That's altx.com.au. So 33 plays 11. Will Lewis, the star so far. He's got 3 goals, all kicked in that second term. Old Brighton kicked 4 of them in the second to Old Scotch's 0, a goose egg, to take a 22-point half-time advantage. They need to get moving quickly, the Cards, in the second half. Here's Southern Petch.
22 points is the margin. Brighton have the lead. This is the premiership quarter, so who wants it more than the other? Hill gets the first possession for Brighton outside the centre square. Centre wing out of sight of the ground. Hope goes towards the boundary line. Hill gets another possession, goes into Burnell. Nearly clean bowled him. He got it back there from Dickey. Goes in short. Lawrence had it fisted away there by Lewis. Close to the boundary line out of sight of the ground. We'll have a ball in.
Will Clark has all of inside forward 45 to himself. Campbell Tweedy, a smaller opponent.
So about to be thrown back in. Nature Reserve side, plenty of support over there. And still the sun shines down here at Elsternwick Park. Grant got a palm down, beautifully read by Gelbert. He bombs the ball on his boot. Oh, Jones nearly took the mark. Angus, that is. He was brought to the ground in a good tackle by Cork. And the umpire says a high tackle. And Jones to take it. Clark's all on his lonesome. He goes to him now. Will he have the sit? He does. And you were bang on there, Daniel, because Tweedy had to double back on Clark. He couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, I wasn't sure that there's some confusion over the free kick there. I think maybe some old Brighton guys didn't believe that was a free, and Tweedy was slow to get back. Yeah, look for Scotch to open up the whole of the forward entries for Will Clark.
So Clark kicked the first goal of the game at the Glen Huntly Road end of the ground. They've only kicked one, and he's their only goal kicker. He's looking at their second and his second for the afternoon. Nepean Highway side of the ground, Glen Huntly Road end, 45 out from goal. It's a drop punt. Goal umpire goes across and it's gone through for a minus score. Taking Scotch on to 1-6-12. Brighton on 4-9-33. We've gone just on 2 minutes in this third term for Altex.
So there were 2 down on the bench from the 25-minute mark of the first term. The Cards. How much do they have left in the legs? Here go the Tunners. Seagar had McNabb by hand. He was clattered into by Frenetic fairly, and he's down and saw McNabb. Dick then dispossessed by Frenetic, who was after that footy. He turns it over almost single-handedly for the Cardinals, and now it's with Stubbings. His favoured left side. He kicks across the face. Tarrant backing back. Maybe chopped down by Cork. The umpire says no. It's hit the behind post. It'll be thrown in.
McNabb counting his ribs in front of us at the moment. What a hit from Frenetic.
Yeah, there's 4 of them on the ground still, I think. Hit him that hard.
So this will be hurled back into play. The right end of the ground for Old Scotch. Clark and Flockhart. Jones! No! He hits the behind post on the full. He's an opportunist. He hits the left-hand behind post. You can hear the vocal support through the effects mic. Old Brighton will take over.
They're the 2 boys that you want to get their hands on the footy. Will Clark and Jones are going to get them back in this game.
So Yorgie takes the free kick from that errant kick from Angus Jones. Glen Huntly Road into the ground. He goes in really short here to Montanaro, and he marks in the right back pocket. Dangerous kick. Gelbart got there in time. Clark has it. He then was held up by Harry Hill, and the umpire says give it to me. So still alive here for Scotch.
This is the second time that Brighton have defended that exit, so they've turned over that exit where Scotch have defended it really well.
Thrown in the air. Clark out the back. Butler was there. Now Gelbart trying to break it. Montanaro tackle going nowhere, or Frenetic it was. We'll have another ball up. So inside 45 here for Scotch. Should they get this first goal and be something for them? They're battling their hearts out down there, but the defence of Brighton's holding up. Hill, a kick around the body, out in towards Seagar and Stubbings. Bounced away from Stubbings. He got it back as it bounced away from Seagar. It went into the pocket. Ball picked up. Handball back. Stubbings had it smothered off the boot. Well done, Yorgie. And we'll have a ball in, still inside. 45 here for Scotch.
So that's the third Brighton exit that's been defended by Scotch again. So I'm liking the way they're starting. They sort of pressure on the ball carrier and then they're taking away the option up the field.
Yeah, lifted their intensity here. We spoke about that at half-time. Really crucial to start well and stay in this contest.
Jeez, look at Jones and Butler. I reckon Jones is going to free kick, yeah.
Butler, as you spoke about, Paddy, Butler wearing Jones really closely for what he's done over the last couple of weeks and just lost his concentration there.
The respect has come for Angus Jones, but I don't think he's enjoying it that much. Here goes Butler, long down the line towards the wing. Dick early body work on Grant, who fell over. He clean bowled everyone and all the way back to Noblet, and he will switch fields to Hayes. And now they've got some space off Scotch.
Tawney's out.
Tawney, Nepean Highway wing. Noblet's going to run on for him. He should receive the handball here, Alex Noblet. He'll turn, he'll look up, he'll kick inside 50. He wants Tarrant on Cork. Tarrant no on the second chance. Oh, he had 9/10 of it, couldn't quite complete the marking attempt. It's out of play, 40 metres out from the Old Scotch goal.
Just an almost day for James Tarrant. He's got his hands to a lot of footies today, but just hasn't been able to hold on to them.
So he used his body beautifully, though, on Cork, but unfortunately in doing that, the ball dribbled over the line out of play. Couldn't hold on to it. 45 out from Scotch's goal. Still down inside there. Forward 45. Clark palmed it inside. Good tackle, Farah. Oh, he laid a ripper inside. They're not letting the defence of Brighton get away here, Scotch. They're battling their hearts out to try and kick this first goal of the third term. Clark over behind him. Brodie Easton overran it. Fisher held it up. It came out again to Easton, who's got it inside 45 for another ball up. 6 gone, third term. 4-9-33 Brighton. 1-6-12 Scotch. Ball still inside 45 for Scotch. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground.
So we've just knocked a point off that half-time lead down to 21 points, but crucially, Old Scotch are unable to kick that much-needed goal. They've only got one today. Coming to Will Clark, the first of the game in the opening 5 minutes. He's in the ruck, Clark, he palms it down, Fisher takes it, kicks somewhat dangerously, blindly, hoping for Harry Hill, who had to play from behind and tackle. And you know Harry Hill will do that all day. He locks the footy beneath himself. We're still 35 metres out from the Old Scotch goal.
So good defence by Brighton here.
They're holding up. They're holding up well.
Back in the air we go. Clark and Flockhart, neither had the best of it. Finn Campielli knocked it on to Burnell, who kicks it down the Nepean Highway wing straight to Grant. So he's taken the mark here, attacking side of the wing. Scotch with all the territory. We'll check in with Pat Cortazzo for Premier Data in a minute. Grant skims it inside 50, hoping for Tarrant. Cork again reached over the top. He might have given away a free kick. Gus Cork's been very good on James Tarrant today, but you did feel, Wardy and Hugo, for hit IQ, that was inevitable.
Just the kick out. I think it was Seeger that kicked it out. Banana kick through the middle of the ground. Yeah. They're under the pump. He doesn't need to do that. Just play the percentages when Scotch have the momentum. Yep. And just Grant read that really well, got it back in. It puts the defenders under pressure.
So Tarrant hasn't been his day in front of the sticks. He must kick this. 40 metres out, slide angle, right footer, no, again. He leaves it to the right-hand side. James Tarrant. He's had his moments, gentlemen. It's just not come for him. 1-7-13 Old Scotch, 4-9-33 Old Brighton. 1-7-13 to 4-9-33 on the William Buck scoreboard.
So ball kicked back in. Brighton go out of sight of the ground. No mark taken. Out there is Lewis. Beaten with the footy there by Hayes. Bent down, picked it up, heard the call. Gave the handball. Gelbach goes to Lipscomb, who's just come onto the ground. Through the middle. Townsend holds them up. Now McNabb held up by Townsend. Loose footy. Noblet in there. Handball Lipscomb. Loose footy inside the centre square. Cormac. Kick off the side of the boot. It came into Farah. Broke a tackle. Goes inside 45. Mark taken.
Hugo's boy. That was fantastic.
I told you a few weeks ago, well, would he get a contract for that kick? Just the composure he showed there. And, you know, there's a lot of experience around him. And there's been something else going here as well, like that little hit up mark there. But
so Henry Brown to Hayes, he marks inside 45. We've got 8 minutes in this third term. It's all been Scotch inside 45, but they haven't been able to score a goal.
Spot on, Pitchy. Need to score here.
Yeah,
need the goal.
Absolutely. Dear me, they're working overtime in there. They trail by 20. They're showing Old Brighton a clean pair of footy boots inside their forward 45, but to Brighton's credit, they are holding tough as well. So Hayes into goal. Glenn Huntley end of the ground. It's got it. Well, finally they kick their second. It's taken an eternity, but Scotch kicked their second. They go on to 2-7-19. Brighton on 4-9-33. That on the William Buck scoreboard for Old Tex. we have gone just on 8 minutes in this third term.
Pat Cortazzo for Premier Data.
Yeah,
Cortazzo,
better start for Scotch there. They're +5 at inside 50s at the moment. They've evened up the contested possessions in this quarter, and also two have had the 2 throwing clearances where they were getting done in that second quarter. So a good start for them.
So it's been a fair old while between drinks for Old Scotch, but they're back within 14 points. Their second goal of the grand final. Here's Henry Brown from the middle. They follow up the goal with the centre clearance. This will bounce and skip. Who will it favour? Clark pushed it beneath the footy by Tweedy, who did well. He just kicks it back from whence it came into the middle of Elsternwick Park. Gregson tries to throw a minute it for Old Brighton. Gelbart has it. He flicks it out. Edgar takes the footy. Kicks it towards Lewis for the Tunners. He tries to step his way around Lawrence. He was caught high. Now Will Lewis, he's 50 metres out. He's eyeing the big sticks with intent. He's just going to go back here, Will. He might run the arc. He'll unload with an almighty left-footed drop punt that has got the distance and it's hit the post.
Hit it up the top.
Three-quarters of the way up, Will Lewis. That was going 60 metres. 4:10:34, Old Brighton, 2:7:19, Old Scotch on the William Buck scoreboard. Let's go down to Cal Cummins on the boundary with an update.
Yeah, guys, just down here for the Old Bright side of things. Luke McNabb was the one we mentioned. He right in front of you guys got one straight to the ribs. He has come to the bench now, getting those things assessed. But he did say sore, but good.
Cormac kicks in. Tara went one-handed. Fell here to Fisher out the back. High kick. Hope. Oh, he broke Walsh there with a fist towards the boundary line as Walsh was going the mark, and it's gone over in front of the scoreboard. 4:10:34 Brighton, 2:7:19 Scotch. Scoreboard end of the ground. That's Brighton's end in this third term. We've gone just on 11 minutes into it for Old Tex. And we await the ball to be thrown back in. Plenty of support on the terraces there. Thrown back in. Grant at the back. Got a hand onto that one. Gregson palmed it down to Lewis. Brought to ground. Great tackle laid on him by Lawrence. And a free kick going Scotch's way here in defence. And Henry Brown will take it here for them. So a long way from home. Scoreboard end of the ground. Cloud starting to darken up here at Elsternwick Park. Sun's gone in behind Cloud. Fish towards the boundary line. Didn't work for Brighton. It came out here to Tarrant. He blindly turned around. Found Clark with a beautiful kick. Then ran into, lost the footy. Yorgie, well done by him. It came back to Stubbings. Left foot kick. Goes towards full forward. No mark taken. Timotina out the back. Farah brought to ground. A good tackle. Laid on Farah. And the umpire said a high tackle.
Something was always going to break there, as we said. You could just see the way they moved that ball forward. You thought that was going to be a turnover when Clark missed there. And they just kept driving, and all the momentum at the moment with Scotch. And my boy won't miss this. Put it in your book, Petchy.
12 minutes gone in the third term. Farah kicks their third. They go into 3-7-25, pegging the margin back on Brighton. 4:10:34. Margin is 9 points, and we have gone just on as I get the glasses out. 12 minutes I can't see. 12 minutes in this third term, and Farah has kicked his first goal of the afternoon. A most important one. 12 minutes gone. They've had all this play.
Yeah, really crucial that they got the score on the board, which they're starting to do now. But what you're starting to see with Old Brighton, obviously being 22 points up at half time, there's a lot of hand waving and pointing, and they're starting to panic a little bit. So Scotch need to continue this.
Pat Cortazzo for Premier Data.
Yeah, that's Old Scotch's second goal from full ground transition out of the 3.
So here they come, the Cards. They've made a charge. What do Brighton have in response? It's going to be Fisher. He gets a kick into the middle of Elsternwick Park. Townsend cleans up and butters up for Old Scotch. Flings the handball to Hayes, one of the goal kickers. He goes up towards Tarrant. Butler peels off him. The ball will dribble away harmlessly over the white line. And the field umpire says that's insufficient intent.
Petchy, this is your thing. But
no, I've been told to be quiet.
Yeah, fair enough. Right.
So Butler free
That'll
kick.
be first.
Left back pocket. Up the Nepean Highway wing he goes, up and under Cormac, unopposed takes the mark. The whistle didn't sound originally, so the umpire's not paid 50 there, as I think it was Lewis went charging after Cormac. So Charlie then, 2 kicks from home. He wanted Noblet initially in the corridor, instead he's just going to tow it over the top, and that's okay for Grant. They advance a bit further, Old Scotch. 9 points the advantage for the Tunners inside 50. Where's James Tarrant? He's bodied off the footy by Butler, and Fisher stands in the hole and takes the mark on his chest. So while Brighton's defence will live to fight another day.
Well, they're working overtime down here. 9 points the margin. Gee, Scotch get another one. It will absolutely set the crowd alight here at Elsternwick Park. A kick towards centre wing. Up they go. Cormac couldn't bring that one down. Fell here to Lewis. Oh, great tackle. Lawrence got him, wrapped him up, brought him to ground. And a good free kick there to Scotch. And Lawrence will take it.
He's not giving him the ball back.
Lewis won't give it back to him. Dougie gets it now. So where will he go? He's got Clark at centre half forward. He's got Frenetic just telling him where to go, and that's as long as he can. Left foot kick around the body virtually, and Fisher fell in the hole and took the mark in front of Tarrant. And away go Brighton. A kick along the ground wasn't a real good. Open the door for Brady. Lipscomb backing him up. Brady went back in again. Got a handball to Frenetic. High kick by Dick. Nearly outside the centre square, centre wing. Up they go. No mark taken. Lewis there. Lawrence towards the boundary line. Well done there to Noblet. Found Hayes. Hayes goes back here. Lawrence has the footy for Scotch. He goes to Lipscomb, but the umpire's blown the whistle. And Lipscomb takes the mark and goes to Frenetic. Away goes Scotch.
Scotch through the corridor. They're trying to make this a one-kick ball game. The kick up to centre half forward. Clark couldn't pick it up. Tweedy rode him all the way in. Montanaro flings the handball. It was a little bit hot there for Fisher, who had to soccer it blindly. Hayes cut it down. He's through a tackle. Kicks it back into Fisher, who has just been desperate these last 5 minutes. Tommy Fisher in his own defensive half. He's held up here, defensive point of the centre square.
Footy's a simple game sometimes. They just seem to be getting more numbers in the screen, more numbers to the contest, putting pressure on Brighton, and it's showing.
Ball in the air. Gregson's after it. Lipscomb soccers it inside 50. Tarrant, here he comes. Did Cork have him before he had the footy? No, said the umpire. It was Montanaro rather. Still the ball rolls around. Fisher again involved on the base of the pack.
Just going to say, Paddy, that matchup now has changed. Cork has lived in his pocket today, Tarrant, and now Montanaro's got the job on him. Let's keep an eye on that one.
Once more into the air. Maybe a free kick there, though. The umpire kicks the whistle in the pocket and now pays a high contact free kick. This is going Old Scotch's way.
Frenetic.
50 metres from goal. Now Frenetic has a habit of kicking these long, ball-bursting drop punts through the centremost uprights, gentlemen. He's not going to go for it here. He goes into the pocket, the one-on-one Lowen with ease over the top of Tawney. It's out of play in the right forward pocket. Let's go down to Matthew Donald with an injury update for Author Sport Victoria.
No, not an injury update there, Paddy, but I tell you what, if Mark Nat was any more involved in this match, if he were in a Cardinals jumper, he's pacing up and down the line. You can feel the energy from the Scotch bench that they're absolutely in this game all of a sudden.
G. Clark went to the goal square. That could have been the target, but they elected to go short. Out of the ruck, here's Lewis for Brighton. A long way from home. Beautiful left foot kick up towards centre wing, out of sight of the ground. In front there, Jack Brown. Campeely, Joe there as well, but beaten to it by Cormac, who goes towards Hayes. We nearly marked it. Over the top, loose footy, and the umpires come in and will take a ball up.
Hayes has been huge this quarter. He's been involved in everything. Like, he just dumped from too deep to affect spoil on a simple mark. So he's been electric.
17 gone, third term, 34 playing 25. Brighton have the lead, but it's been in Scotch's 45 area most of the quarter. Another ball up out of sight of the ground, Nepean Highway side, and we'll have that affected.
Yeah, Woody, was just that frenetic entry then. That was a really frustrating one. They had all the momentum, needed to go to the top of the square.
Yeah, especially if he marks it. The breeze is right in his face when he's having a shot for goal. Looks like the wind's actually intensified.
It has. It really has. So there may be some rain clouds forming behind us. We don't know. We can't see, but it really has picked up.
We'll get down to Matty Doddle in a minute with an update on weather conditions, because you can see the trees in the backdrop here. They are moving a fair old bit, and there are grey skies coming to Elsternwick Park. The ball's with the Tunners. They lead it by 9 points. Old Scotch have thrown a punch. They've worn one. Can they now return with one of their own? Dimatina along the boundary line, sends it up towards half forward. Big pack of players. Another fly, this time from Pryor. Walsh takes it cleanly to Hayes, who's had a great third term. Feeds it to Frenetic. That's a dangerous kick. Into the corridor, Lowen with an almighty fist, though. Lipscomb takes the ball. Feeds it to Noblet. Over the top, Tawney. One way, then the other. They're handballing their way through. Brown held up. Got rid of Dimatina. Just muscled him out of the way. Inside 50, it bounced terribly for Farah. And Yorgie's there for the Tunners, and he kicks it up to Fisher along the centre square. Fisher holds the play. He's got red and blue jumpers leaking forward. He kicks it towards centre half forward. It's a big pack. It's fisted it towards Edgar. For the Tunners, he goes for Seagar, who's jogging inside 45. He's at right half forward. He'll be closed down now by Stubbings. He holds in the footy, Seagar. It'll be thrown up beneath the scoreboard. 34 plays 25 on the William Buck scoreboard.
Again, credit to Scotch. Frenetic there, kicked the ball, didn't even hesitate, come through the middle of the ground. They're taking risks.
So nearly inside 45 here for Brighton, but ball kick out towards the boundary line. 20 straight onto it and then out of bounds on the full. Well done there by Scotch. He saw him over the line, Easton, and resultant free kick Townsend's way. 19 gone in this third term, 9 points the margin. Brighton had the lead, 14 shots to 10. 34 playing 25. Easton up towards Sam Grant. At the back was Henry Brown, was Tarrant. He couldn't mark either. Fell to Cork. Handball McNabb goes for the short kick. Didn't favour Fisher. He had to use his body. Seager bounced off his own man. Handball back into Noblin. He's had a terrific game for Scotch. And he gets awarded. No, against here, and Burnell takes the free kick.
So Burnell, 50 metres out as Hamish Dick makes his way off, looking a little bit worse for wear. Into the pocket he goes, out the back, taken by Cormac. Again, Charlie, Horseshoes, Elsternwick Park. They've got space on the Nepean Highway wing. They've got jumpers everywhere. Lipscomb's got to go. Tawney is gassed. He's trying to sprint forward. Lipscomb has to hold the footy up. Now over the top to Clark. Tawney still in open space at the Glen Huntley Road end. Clark will go to him now. Tawney on the long lead. Can't reel it in. Out of bounds on the full. And the Jones, opportunity dissipates.
Angus Jones gut running back to the goal square too. I reckon he thought he was a chance.
I think in these conditions with the wind, it's really hard to hit someone over the back, so you nearly need to come back at the kicker.
Thanks, Wardy. Once again, Brighton kicked the ball back in from defence, and Clark has taken the mark. So out of sight of the ground, starting to get rather dark here now. The signs illuminating. Clark comes back into the middle. Not a real good kick. And Harry Hill chops it off. That was a bad kick off the boot. It wasn't a drop punt. It was a floater. And Hill's got it. 34 playing 25. Brighton had the lead. We've gone just on 21 minutes in this third term. He goes out wide ahead to Dimitita. Left foot kick up towards centre wing to Pryor and hits him on the chest. So Nature Reserve side of the ground. Out of side here at Elsternwick Park. Pryor goes towards Finn Campili. He marks about 60 out from goal. Attacking to the scoreboard end in this third term of Brighton. Left foot kick. He goes into the pocket. Tall timber required. Fisted away from Joe Campili. Fell to Burnell. Burnell into goal. Oh, he's missed. A minor score to Brighton, taking them on to 4-11-35. Scotch 3-7-25. 10 points the margin on the William Buck scoreboard for Old Tex 21 gone third term.
For Premier Data, Pat Cortazzo.
Yeah, that was only Old Brighton's fourth inside 50 for the quarter. Yeah, the disposal count at the moment, plus 20 in favour of Old Scotch.
Well, they're going corridor again to Frenetic, and he holds on. So this might open up the ground for the Cards. His kick is up the line and good for Gelbart. He wants a handball receive option. He's got one in Lipscomb, who dodged around the Burnell tackle. His handball was a hospital one. It wasn't doing any favours for Andy Gelbart, who is thrown unceremoniously into the deck. He'll be last up.
And what we're seeing here, Wardy and Hugo, they're going through the middle. They're using handball. They're trying to generate.
Yeah, you're going to have mistakes when you do that. You've got to live with that a little bit because the positives far outweigh the negatives when you're doing that.
Yeah, the mistakes generally come when they go back to congestion too, rather than trying to find that one on the outside.
But they're trying, aren't they? They're giving it everything they've got. They just can't score.
You're trying.
On the William Buck scoreboard, it's a 10-point Tunners lead. They led it by 22 points at half-time. It's scrappy stuff across the half-forward line for Old Brighton as Brady is pulled down by Edgar and a pack of players. 22.5 gone for Old Tex in the third term.
Once again, stating the bleeding obvious.
I'm an expert at that. It's in the dictionary under me.
Thrown in the air out of sight of the ground. Grant grabs it all. Then he went the handball and lost it. Yeah. Now it came back to Lipscomb. Kick it towards centre wing. Tawney there had it fisted away. That's Farah. Right. He went through. High tackle laid on him and free kick going Scotch's way.
You just wonder about the fatigue for Scotch at the moment because they've thrown everything at us. They have. We're in the last stages of the quarter.
And fatigue for defensive Brighton as well. Yeah. He goes out to Weaston. He's on the right side for a left footer. So Clark directing traffic inside 45. Townsend there as well. So he goes, kick smothered off the boot. Farah had found Finn Campeely, who got it off here. And now low and handballs here to McNabb. And Brighton get out of danger momentarily. It goes over the line out of play. And we'll have a ball in.
Out of full. On the full.
On the full, resultant free kick going Scotch's way.
Pat Cortazzo for Premier Data.
Yeah, the pleasing thing for Old Scotch, the quarter threes have been their worst quarter on the season with a 40% win rate. Currently, they're up 2 goals in this quarter, 2-2 to 0-2.
So they've held up the Tunners. Here's the horseshoe, Lawrence to Noblet. He marks broadcast side. He could have run on. He just opts to hold it up a little bit. Now, Tawny's the guy up the line, as is Stubbings. Yorgie's the spare, which is just stopping this movement. Up to Stubbings eventually. That's not carried the 15. It came to Pryor. The Tunners back the other way. Finn Campeely leads. He jumps. He won't get there. He had to fist it away from Brady. He's now fighting desperately in this defensive half. Taken by Seagar. Go in, Geordie. Seagar, he misses. He misses. He blows his line. It came off the ankle just about as the sprinklers go off in the nature reserve. 4-12-36, 3-7-25 on the William Buck scoreboard. It's an 11-point Tunners lead, Simon Petch.
You can see the whites of his eyes from here. They really opened up, and it was just a shank.
He was running the other way.
Yeah, I can still see them. Good vision here. Oh, he was licking his lips going into goal there, Seagar. Would have brought the crowd alive behind the goals. But anyway, he's one of Scotch's best for the day, Noblet. He's got it again. He's been terrific for them. He goes to Tarrant Hill mark just before the boundary line. Half back here for Scotch. 25 gone in this third term. 11 points the margin. Brighton have the lead, and Burnell fists it over the boundary line, and we'll have a ball in. Didn't want to go the mark.
No, I was going to say, that's very lucky for Scotch.
Yes.
He could have taken that mark easily.
Pat Cortazzo's just noticed a little twerk for Premier Data.
Twerk.
Something interesting.
Yeah, that end there, that Old Brighton are kicking to, it's 0-6 for the game and 2 out on the full.
Now,
so
the umpires...
8 shots.
Blood rule. Okay, and no one knows who it is. The umpire's pointing at someone,
Grant.
and it's Grant. He's got to come off.
Quirk was the word I was looking for there.
Quirk was the word, and then Petchy tried to Quicky's trying to do it now.
Do you know
Quickly do a twerk.
Do you know what a twerk is?
No, it's not that.
You have to have a look in the dictionary.
Knock that off, Petchy.
I'll have a look tonight in the fucking Magnus.
Well, Sonny, you mentioned that, Petchy. I've got one here right now.
Have you really? Oh, you are kidding me.
So Tarrant flicks it out the back as Simon Petch scores to the dictionary.
With that.
Burnell's held up here. Centre wing, broadcast side of Sam Grant bleeding from the head, so Matthew Donald will pick that up for us.
Well done to you. We need that.
Ball in the air again. Flockhart. He's pulled down. Taken by Frenetic up towards half forward. It'll dribble inside 50. Taken by Gus Cork. He goes sideways to Tweedy. Tries to weave his way around Lipscomb. Couldn't, so kicked it up and Seagar marks. Beneath us, broadcast side wing. Right on the boundary line. 26 minutes gone for Oltex. Still an 11-point Tunners lead. Kicking towards the nature reserve end or the scoreboard end, which we haven't seen a goal kick to all day long. Brady couldn't bring it down. Lewis falls on top of the footy. He's got to be careful picking it up here, Will Lewis. He's dragged down by Brady. The umpire takes pity, says give it to me.
So inside the centre square, right on the pointy end of it, 26 and a half gone in this third quarter, and gee, it's been all Scotch, hasn't it? Yeah. They haven't hit the front. They trail by 11, but gee whiz, they've given it all they've got. They just haven't been able to put Brighton away yet. As Flockhart gets held up by Tarrant. Thrown in the air again. Same spot. Pointing into the centre square. Flockhart, frenetic now. Kick inside the centre square. Over Clark's head. Over Tweedy's head. It came out the back here. And Butler ran it down. Got it back here into Tweedy, who gets a kick towards centre wing. Fisher eyes only for the footy. Couldn't complete the mark. But Joel Bart's given away a free kick. And Tom will get it here on centre wing for Brighton.
It's probably the placement of the kick, though, for Tweedy, that Joel Bart was always a step behind, so he had to just be so desperate with that spoil and impeded Fisher, who's had a great third quarter, it must be said. He drives it up the line in the Flockhart direction. It carried him. Cormac couldn't hold on as Lewis crashed the pack. Lawrence is pulled down. So 27 and a half gone, 11-point ball game, Daniel Ward for Hit IQ. What will Mark Nutt of Old Scotch be doing right now? Do you try and just hold on to this 11-point deficit, I suppose, and make a charge in the fourth term?
No, I think you've got to look to go and score still. It looks like that's the scoring end that Old Brighton will have in the last quarter, so they need to keep the scoreboard ticking over.
Hill to Edgar. No way! Angus Edgar chucked in the right forward pocket. It's been impossible to kick goals towards the scoreboard end. And Angus Edgar puts it through for his first today. What a goal that is. And it's a stinger. Old Brighton go back by 17 points. They're up on the William Buck scoreboard. 5-12-42. Plays 3-7-25. Third term for Altex. Matthew Donald on the boundary with an injury update thanks to Orthosport Victoria.
Yeah, gents, just an update on Sam Grant. He's just got the head bandage. He'll be in this next set of bouts contesting the ruck.
And that's the first goal to that end for the day, and Hugo was talking about it. Is that the moment?
Well, it's, you think so? I mean, it's been Scotch all this quarter. They've had fantastic ball use, but that's a nail in the coffin almost for the Scotchies.
Thrown back inside the centre circles. Easton held up and he grabbed hold of McNabb's shorts and nothing going there. Thrown back in the air again. Flockhart won that one down. Dimatina roved it well. Handball came to Hill out of side of the ground. Left foot kick inside 45. Looking for Lewis, but Hope dropped in the hole and took the mark. So there was plenty there on offer for Hill. He either had Lewis or Hope, and the ball favoured Jamie Hope, and he takes the mark out of side of the ground. Nature Reserve side of the ground, and just outside the 45-metre arc here for Brighton. Another opportunity here for them. He hasn't troubled the scorers today. Jamie Hope, he's looking at doing it now. An important kick nearing the end of this third term. 29 and a half gone in it. Hope runs around. 45 out from goal. Won't make the distance. Will it be? Fisher through. Mark taken. Flockhart's got it directly in front of goal.
Well, we've seen this man.
Fisher.
Is it Fisher? Yeah.
Fisher's got it. I didn't have the glasses up. Fisher's got it directly in front of goal.
I reckon Hugo, for IQ, that's about his fifth mark of the quarter. Yeah. Tommy Fisher, what a quarter it's been from him.
Yeah, considering he's going against the flow, because, Scotch really got on top in the midfield, and to slide in the side like that at this stage, deep in red time, not looking good for Scotch.
Oh, well, they had all of the play in this third term. It's gone down their forward area, and Edgar kicked the first of this third term for them, and Fisher about to kick the second. Yes! So the crowd erupts again on the hill. Fisher kicks their sixth goal of the afternoon for Brighton. He's had a good game for them today, but it's got to continue on from here. That's his first goal of the afternoon, Tom. And 2 goals in around 3 minutes here for Brighton.
Great leadership from Fisher. Really lifted this quarter. It's been great overhead. For his size, he's very good overhead. The ability to push forward, there's probably 10 guys in that pack, but for him to take that grab and kick a really important goal just before 3/4 time.
Oh, breaks it open now, 23 points. It got down to 9.
Yep.
Now back out to 23.
You just think about that frenetic kick where it could have gone deep to the square when they were really hot, and he's gone for that little hit up into that pocket where you're never going to kick the goal from. Was that the moment there? Was that the one for Scotch? Got him going more.
Yeah.
Doesn't kick many goals, does Tom Fisher. That's his 5th of this season. And what a time to do it. A game-high 23-point lead at Elsternwick Park in the grand final. McNabb will come through with Dimatina here. Is there time for one more? No. But the old Brighton defence, it held up for most of that quarter. And in the last 2 minutes, with goals from Edgar and Fisher, they take the advantage well and truly into the final term here in the grand final. 6-12-48 plays 3-7-25. The goal kickers for the Tunners, Will Lewis with 3, all in the second term. Cam Pearley, Edgar and Fisher the singles for Old Scotch. Clark, Farah and Hayes with 1 apiece. A quick thought from Daniel Ward for Hit IQ before we break.
Yeah, a couple of hammer blows late for Scotch in that quarter. As Petchy was saying, Scotch dominated that quarter, dominated the territory, couldn't always put the score on the board for Old Brighton to kick 2 goals late. It was 22 points of difference at half-time. For all their hard work, they've increased the margin by 1 point to lead by 23 points with 1 quarter to go.
1 quarter to go in 2025, and the Tunners can taste it. Let's see what happens. More after this.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Hey guys, introducing GYG's $12 chicken mini meal. It's the ultimate value bundle. A mini chicken burrito or bowl, medium Chipotle seasoned fries, and a bottle of water or a soft drink of your choice. It's cheaper than cooking at home. Love ya.
The VAFA's Night of Nights is just around the corner. Join us at the VAFA Awards Night as we celebrate our league best and fairest winners, induct our newest life members and present the premiership flags. Wednesday, October 8th at the Lakeside Pavilion in Albert Park. Get your tickets now at vafa.com.au.
Stay up to date with all the latest from the Victorian Amateur Football Association with the brand new VAFA app. Stay connected with live scores, fixtures, stats and news from across the Victorian Amateur Football Association right at your fingertips. Download the VAFA app today from the App Store or Google Play and never miss a moment.
Three-quarter time in the grand final. Old Brighton 6-12-48 lead Old Scotch 3-7-25. It was a tumultuous third term. It was Scotch to start with goals through Hayes and Farah. But then the last 2 minutes of the quarter, Angus Edgar with a pearler from the right forward pocket and then Tom Fisher from a contested grab directly in front give Old Brighton the advantage here at three-quarter time. It's a 23-point Tunners lead as they aim for their first ever premiership in VAFA's Premier Men's top flight. Paddy Grinley's my name. Pat Cortazzo's beside me for Premier Data. Pat, tell us what you've learned.
Yeah, well, it was a good start for Old Scotch to start that quarter. They had the early jump on +5 and inside 50s and then winning the throw-in clearances. But Old Brighton just worked their way back into the game. They absorbed those punches and in the end they had 5 scores from 8 inside 50s. We go into that in that first quarter, Old Brighton, they just couldn't even get a score on the board. But there they were able to be a bit more efficient. I feel like I mozzed at Paddy. I said 40% Q3 win rate and then all of a sudden Old Brighton put 2 on the board.
Let's head down to the huddles.
2-2 in that.
Taz, Clarkey, we're starting to get some looks at it. Farah's
Come on, guys. Slicker, let's get some ball down. And when it's not going in our way, we tackle and we fight for that football, but we hold that outside shape. Really importantly, that's what we got right in the second quarter. That quarter, we lost it a little bit. That height. Yeah.
Work hard, okay? It's that punch kick. Doesn't need to be the big floater. Punch kick, 20 metre, go, 20 metre. So when you get that one in the middle,
rise and control it with uncontested mark. Away from him.
Backs me up. Handball receive, uncontested. Now one's knackered. Bench means
What's ahead of you? As a group, 22 blokes finishing 30 minutes of football. That's all I'm asking from you. 30 minutes of hard, contested, simple decision football.
Turns of the team.
So the huddles at three-quarter time of the grand final. It's a 23-point Old Brighton lead. 6-12-48 to 3-7-25. We'll go through the goal kickers again. For the Tunners, Will Lewis has 3, Joey Campili with 1, Angus Edgar with 1, and Tom Fisher with 1. For Old Scotch, Will Clark, the first goal of the day. Tom Farah has 1, Ben Hayes also with 1 goal. We'll hear in a few moments' time from the coach of Old Brighton, Marcel Bruin. Cal Cummins is just making his way to grab the man they call Soupy out of the mess of people, the massive humanity that's assembled here on the broadcast side. You might be able to hear the dulcet tones there of Mark Nat, who is trying to rev up his team. He wants to become a 2-time premiership coach. He wants to become a back-to-back premiership coach across the next half an hour. Let's go down to Cal Cummins. He's got the coach of Old Brighton, Marcel Bruin.
Sell the final chat to the troops. What was it about?
Simplicity. There's going to be a lot of contested football that we want to bring that game. We want to bring that contested game because it's going to be stoppage and repeat stoppage, and that'll bring it back onto our terms.
With a little bit of sprinkle, does that change anything immediate?
Not at all.
Just keep going hard.
I think that feeds into what we're trying to do here, yeah.
All right, best of luck.
Thanks to Marcel Bruin and to Cal Cummins for their time at three-quarter time. Mark Nat not too far away. Before we get to Mark, Pat Cortazzo for Premier Data. What do you got in the final term stats?
Yeah, they're going to be up against it Old Scotch. Old Brighton, 94% win rate in fourth quarter. They only lost 1 fourth quarter for the year. It took Old Scotch to round 6 to win their last quarter of the year. So they're really going to have to be up against it in the last quarter. But hey, I mozzed them in the third quarter. You never know, I might go the other way this quarter.
Caution to the wind for the Cards in this final term. Let's go down to Matthew Donald. He's got their coach, Mark Knapp.
Mark, it was a great third term for most of it, but disappointing to concede a couple of goals late.
Yeah, it was. We had our chances probably to be a little bit closer, but, it's a great game of footy and, I'm really proud of the fight to date and, -2 on the bench is what it is. So, we're still in the hunt. We'll still have a crack.
Your final message of the year for the boys, what was the key?
Oh, as I said, we've got to take the game on and really try and get it into the corridor, attack the game as much as we can, run, overlap, and let's give it a shake.
I'll let you go, Mark. Best of luck. And just finally, guys, at three-quarter time, the rain that's been teasing all day arrived briefly, and the floodlights are on for this final term.
Matty, while we've got you on the boundary, what's the wind doing?
The wind is still swirling, and it has been for most of the day, and we've seen a lot of players struggle to kick in front of goal, and I imagine that's still going to be the case in this final term. Going to be very difficult to get those accurate kicks from tight on the boundary to go through.
Matthew Donald, thank you. Thanks also to Cal Cummins and to both coaches for the access they've allowed us today over the course of the grand final. So one to go then. Premier Men's Grand Final action on VAFA TV, Community TV and SEN. 30 minutes just about remain in the season. It remains to be seen who will be lifting the Premiership Cup. Old Brighton 6-12-48, lead Old Scotch 3-7-25. Our final term for Community TV, the official streaming partner of the VAFA. But it's going to have to be Old Scotch from behind if they want to go back-to-back. Something they haven't achieved in VAFA. Top flight since the 1930s. Simon Petch on the call for the final term of 2025. The Tunners lead it by 23 points.
So they led by 22 at three-quarter at half-time. Now 23 at three-quarter time. So 1 point was the addition to that half-time score. And it's all uphill here for Scotch, but they've been in this position before many a time. Here's Hill out of the centre for Brighton. Goes towards half forward, over everybody's head. Out the back, Hamish Dick for luck. Jamie Hope goes to ground, tried to win the footy out. Dick goes back in after it. Gets a free kick for being held on to. And Hamish gets the first free kick of this final term down at the Glen Huntly Road end of the ground for Brighton.
Yeah, well, I was at the back of a great clearance by Harry Hill out of the middle of the ground there. And, they were sort of chasing the whole way there, Scotch. So there's not much you can do about that when that's coming in with a lot of heat like it was.
What about a start here for Brighton? The crowd behind the goals will erupt here as Hamish Dick comes into goal and try to put their seventh on the board directly in front, and he's done it. So Dick holds his hands up. They kick their seventh here, Brighton. 7-12-54. Getting away now from Scotch on 3-7-25. Margin 29 points. That for Community TV. And the first goal of the final term to Brighton.
Yeah, and Hugo, you just spoke about the centre bounces. And for the game now, that's 8 centre clearances for Old Brighton to the 3 for Old Scotch.
Definitely the scoring end. The Glen Huntly Road end of the ground today.
That's the end to which Old Brighton kick in this final term. 29 points, game high lead. The Cards are on the ropes here. Henry, Brown and Gregson whistle for a hole. Which way is it going? It's going to Fraser Gregson. Advantage might have been taken here for Lewis again. No. Lawrence did enough. Slaps it to the advantage of Noblet past him. Finn Campioli, an indiscriminate kick to the top of the goal square. It bounced wickedly. Seagar nearly brought it down. Close but no cigar. Taken by Stubbings up the line to Grant. At left half back, he goes over the top. Oh, it's not a great kick towards Frenetic, and Gregson cleaned him up the other way. Frenetic goes again, holds his own. Easton picks up the loose footy. The handball to the Nepean Highway wing. This is desperate stuff. Nothing clean to start the final term for Community TV. Seagar and Yorgi, they'll exchange handballs. Seagar up to Fisher. He marks and just settles things down, Simon Petch.
He sure does. He just put the hand to the ground and said, just settle down, and a free kick off the footy here.
Yeah.
Say Montanaro was upended there, and Yorgi was it, and Fisher comes inside 45 here for Brighton.
Has a habit of being involved in a lot of that stuff, Tom Yorgi, and got under the skin of one of Scotch's players, resulting in a 50 down the ground.
So Fisher, Glen Huntly Road into the ground directly in front for their second goal in 3 minutes here for Brighton. They've kicked 7-12-54, Scotch 3-7-25. Glen Huntly Road into the ground. Fisher will love this if it goes through. And he's missed. Minus score. 7-13-55 Brighton. 3-7-25 Scotch. 30 points the margin. 3 gone final term.
Yeah, you just want to see Scotch with a good exit out of here now and try and get some possession ball and try and just use it, maintain a little bit, because it's all Brighton at the moment.
So Long to the middle of Elsternwick Park. Clark and Tarrant the targets in cardinal red. Neither could bring it down. Gelbart will lay a tackle. So they've got to kick 5 goals here to chase down the Tunners. Old Scotch, they've kicked 3 for the game. It's unlikely, but they've been able to pull off unlikely things this year, if not the impossible. Angus Jones has been the ringleader of that, especially in September. He's last up here. Floodlights now on at Elsternwick Park. Doesn't seem to be visible rain falling, but we know it's just skirting around the edges. Grant in there with Flockhart. Dimatina tackled Hayes off it. Easton was clean. He swept past the footy. He picked it up. He kicks towards Tawney, who's running back with the flight on Montanaro. It's a bit swirly in the breeze. It favoured Quinton Montanaro of Old Brighton. He gives it to Seagar. He exchanges it. He gives it back to Seagar. He kicks it up towards half forward. Brown in the way. That's Henry. What can Old Scotch do the other way? Here's Clark, 70 metres from goal. Keeps the drop punt low into the pocket. He's found a man. He's found a man in Farah. He'll run it in. There's time enough for the Cards. Back to 24 points. Farah has 2. 31 plays 55 on the William Buck scoreboard.
What you know about the Cardinals that we've seen over the last 5 weeks is they'll just keep coming.
Yep.
When you think that they're gone, when you think that you've got them, they'll just keep forging forward and surging it forward and scoring. So really important time here for Old Brighton to just match that intensity.
So as we saw Grant last week do, fist outside this centre square, and it worked a few times.
For Premier Data, Pat Cortazzo.
Yeah, looking at the intercept game for Old Brighton, Old Scotch. Old Brighton are 1 goal 10 from intercepts today to Old Scotch 4 goals 2.
11 shots to 6 from that is unbelievable, and only 1 goal. As Pat said, thrown back up again in the middle of the ground. No ruck could get there. The wind blew it away from them. Easton goes in. Then misread the footy. Townsend a fresh air shot. Seeger head over the football. Townsend went back in underneath him. And now eventually McNabb tried to get it out for Brighton. He couldn't. We'll have a ball up. Centre wing out of sight of the ground. 7-13-55 Brighton. 4-7-31 Scotch. 5.5 played in this final term. And once again, the ball to be thrown back in the air, out of sight of the ground. Nepean Highway side here at Elsternwick Park. Sun in behind dark cloud, and a Burnell held up there. And once again, another ball up, out of sight of the ground. So stagnant at the moment out there. Flockhart got a hand onto that run. It came down, Burnell over the top of him. Was a Scotch player who's injured himself as he's gone over the top of Burnell, and it's Gelbart getting up rather gingerly. Up and okay, although now Grant nearly threw it out. Try to get it moving forward. Easton brought to ground again. We'll have another ball up. So stagnant play. Out of sight of the ground. 7-13-55 Brighton. 4-7-31 Scotch. 6.5 gone. Final term.
Yeah, this will be suiting Old Brighton. This is what Marcel Bruin spoke about at 3/4 time. The contest after contest. No coincidence that it's Tom Fisher, Burnell, Harry Hill that are really surging forward at ground level.
Fisher's spent most of today just wearing the contact from multiple Cardinals. He's been terrific. Here they go, the Tunners, off the boot of Hill inside 50. Campbell, he jumped beneath it, into the hands of Dick. He turns onto the left. Has he got enough bend on the snap? It's going. Lewis back with the flight. Campbell, Millie. They fumble it across the behind line. 25-point Old Brighton lead. 56 plays 31 on the William Buck scoreboard as Townsend steps his way out of defence for Old Scotch.
So kick towards centre wing for them. Commentary side. Haven't seen it on this side of the ground often. Burnell a handball, not a good one. It was at Butler's bootlaces. Came back into Burnell. Not a good handball back as Townsend shocked it off. And we'll have a ball in centre wing. Commentary side.
Lewis Butler. Sorry, Hugo. Lewis Butler, take a bow. He's done a great job on Jones, but had to go the 1 metre test there. Put his head over the footy. He's done it fantastically well.
Yeah, so with Scotch, you want to be more than 3 goals up with 10 minutes to go, don't you? Because you know they can come and they do come. So it's important for Brighton not to try and just slow the game up completely. They've got to keep scoring as well.
So nearly 8 gone in this final term. Grant out of the ruck contest, tried a handball, didn't work. Now Lipscomb got a kick, high up and under inside the centre square. Farah fisted it away from his man. Handball went to Jones. No, he went out wider here to Tarrant. He still got plenty of support, but then he lost it. It came back to Farah. Farah in the goal! He's done it. So there's 2 goals to Farah for the quarter. He's kicked 3 for the game. And can that spark something here for Scotch? They won't lie down. They won't die wondering. They won't let Brighton come into the game at all. And Farah kicks his 2nd for the game. 3rd for the game.
So that was great work by Farah there. He saw that Tarrant was there, got their hands to him, but he came back and supported it again, and all the Brighton players had gone to Tarrant, so that's why he got that run in. And the execution was great because they're hard to kick at that end with that breeze coming in. So
Three tonners couldn't stop Tarrant.
No, exactly,
couldn't stop him.
Exactly. But this is what I'm saying. They keep coming. One more goal will be very interesting here because we know what they can do in a couple of minutes, Scotch.
It's his season high, 3 goals in a game. Tommy Farah, 1 goal in the first semi-final, 2 in the prelim, 3 in the grand final. He's been a feature. Here's Lewis and Gelbart.
Well, as one of the keys stated at the start of the game, it's not over till it's over. And this is still building here.
Yeah, very sage words, those, Petchy.
Straight out of the...
How much did you pay him, Hugo? Here's Grant.
Out of the funk and Magnals.
Flings out the handball to Easton across half back to Lipscomb. The cards are still coming. Lipscomb up to a 1-on-1. Tarrant and Cork. It's Gus Cork who beats him to the footy. He got along the boundary to Seagar. He kept the ball in play. Brilliant effort, Gus Cork. Now McNabb. He didn't take the ball cleanly, though. And old Scotch the other way. Again. Here's Tommy Farah again.
Go, Tommy.
Go, Tom Farah.
Go, Tommy.
He's going to go inside 45.
Kick a goal, Tommy.
Tom Farah. He misses.
Hugo would have jumped out the window there.
Absolutely would have
jumped out on Mark Nat.
I would have taken Petchy with me.
But he's given the cards a spark. 18-point ball game, 5-8-38 to 7-14-56. 18-point lead. 10 minutes gone for Community TV in the final term, Petchy.
Well, it's down at the right end. It's down in defence here for Brighton. No mark taken over the back there by Fisher, but he butted up and got the handball out. Chopped off here by Henry Brown. Will he go to ground? He does. Seagar had him and threw him over the boundary line, centre wing out of side of the ground. 22 or 18 points the margin, 10 gone. Brighton hanging on to this lead. It got as close as 9 points in that 3rd term, but then Brighton kicked away with 2 quick goals at the end of it. Still out wide here. Centre wing, Nepean Highway side of the ground. Ball thrown back in. Grant wrestling there with Lewis, and the umpires picked a Grant free kick, so he gets it and handball straight away to Noblet. He goes short with a kick. It went straight there to Farah. His arms were chopped. He gets the free kick. Scotch on the move again. He got around Lewis. Oh, he nearly fell over. He had to get around again. He got a kick in, and Noblet, who made space for himself for Scotch. Out of sight of the ground, centre wing. He'll just go as long as he can. Drives it down to full forward. They set themselves Clark at the back. Good mark in front. Montanaro. He had Clark coming all over him, but Montanaro stood tall and took the mark.
Pat Cortazzo for Premier Data.
Yeah, this will be the first inside 50 Old Scotch have had this quarter that they haven't scored from, and Old Byron will be rebounding.
They've been terrific. Montanaro to Flockhart. Oh, he couldn't hold on under Lawrence pressure, but it's out to Seagar, and the Tunners are off and running. Seagar with the bounce. His eyes dart for Jamie Hope, who is sprinting towards the goal mouth. Will it sit for Jamie? No. It rolls out a metre in front of him. They have had their chances, the Tunners, Daniel Ward, but they just haven't been able to execute them inside 45.
Yeah, Jamie Hope really dangerous if he can get out the back. But that's a really tough kick into this with this wind at the moment.
They kick the first of the quarter at the minute mark with Hamish Dick. They need another one, the Tunners, to feel a little bit safer right now. 18 points to the good. Hurled back into play. Grant should have the advantage here. Goes behind the contest. Cormac clears the zone. Looks for Tarrant. He's involved in a wrestle with Cork. And Cork wins again. Plenty of feedback. Oh, there's a free kick, I reckon, against the Tunners. Gelbart was impeded. So it'll be back at the source of the kick. So Tarrant will take this. Defensive side of the wing, the Nepean Highway wing. So Old Scotch will get the footy back. It does, though, Wardy, give the Brighton defence time to adjust because the ball is so far away from the side of the free kick.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Scotch will still need to shift his footy if they can. Don't want to go long, high down the line if they can.
Well, Tarrant goes in short to probably their best player on the ground in Noblet. He has been everywhere today. He's had a very, very serviceable game. Best game I've seen him play this year. Goes back to Lipscomb and he takes the mark. Still in defensive area. Here's Scotch. Oh, kick was smothered off the boot. Not a real good kick. Head over the footy, Walsh. Head over the footy, Lipscomb. Got a high tackle, got a kick away. Middle of the ground. Which way will it bounce? It bounces over. Everybody's heading away from them. It came back to Hayes. He held up Seagar. Threw him into the deck like a rag doll. Umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Great tackle, holding Seagar up. And ball to be thrown in the air inside the centre square. 38 playing 56. Brighton have the lead. 3 straight kicks the margin in favour of them. Lewis has got it, gets a free kick. And he takes his time getting up here, Will. So he started for Brighton today. He's kicked 3. And he's inside the centre square. He goes with a left foot kick. Beautiful kick to 45. And Edgar's taken the mark. What a kick. What a ripper kick that was. Hit him on the chest.
He had to land it in a shoebox.
Yeah. And Edgar took it. And he led up beautifully here, Angus.
Class above today, Will Lewis. Being a class above everyone else on the field.
So Angus Edgar, right in front of us, right underneath us. You've got a good view of the goals here. No daylight, or plenty of daylight to speak of. He goes as long as he can. Will he bring it back? No, minus score. Brighton 7-15-57. Scotch 5-8-38. For Community TV, 14 and a half gone in this final quarter. Still the door slightly
plenty
ajar.
of time. Does make it 4 scores now, though, for Old Scotch. 19 points down. Last line, here's Walsh, right half back, intersection of the 45 metre arc and the boundary line. Beneath our commentary box here. It's all clogged up ahead for Walsh, so he's just going to have to kick it into the pack and hope for the best. Tarrant's there, he's going to come from behind, he got a fly, he got a hand to it. Fisher again, through to Edgar, he wants the high contact, he sorts it. Lipscomb caught him high. So Edgar attacking side of the wing here, broadcast side. Yorgie's next in the chain. Umbrellas going up around Elsternwick Park just beneath us, so maybe that rain has just started to fall again. Yorgie along the boundary line. Fisher in the pack. Big spoil over the top from Walsh, who picked up the footy. Awkward looking kick to Tarrant at the line is good. Clark's leaking forward, as is Farah. In the corridor he goes. Dangerous to do that. Here comes Hamish Dick. Grab the footy. He's been grabbed at centre half forward. Brighton won't mind that.
I think you still got to try and pull the trigger there.
Yep,
you don't necessarily want your big blokes kicking the ball through the middle there, but they've got to keep having a crack at it.
Thrown up inside the centre square. Brighton's in. Grant got it down. Here's Frenetic. Got a kick along the ground. Will it get any distance here for Scott? Still inside centre square. Kick away there by Lowen. He goes out wide to Dimatina. He marks centre wing here for Brighton commentary side. So Kai about to go long with a kick. Beautiful left foot kick. He goes towards Lawrence though. At the back. He didn't go. He looked at it. He came back into Brady. Flockhart there as well, but Stubbings heard the call behind him. Noblet was there. Naturally, bad kick. Travis chops it off. So did Edgar. Now Dick Lawrence cleaned him right up. And a high tackle. Lawrence got him, and Dick in front of goal should have a shot.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shoulder charge there from Big Dougie, which he's prone to from time to time. But it was probably that backward handball when they were out on the other side of the ground there. Just didn't. You may as well kick for space. They need to get territory. So a little bit of a let up for Brighton there.
So here's Dick. He had a shot from here moments ago. And he's looking at Brighton's 8th goal of the afternoon. We're not going to call it just yet if he kicks it.
Go on.
No, I've done that before. But here he comes. Hamish Dick into goal. He's got
it. Superman.
And he kicks their 8th goal of the afternoon. We've gone 17 minutes into this final term. The lead's starting to open up again here for Brighton. They've been kicking down to the scoreboard end of the ground. That's Dick's 2nd goal of the afternoon at the scoring end of the ground. And, time is just starting to be on their side now, Brighton.
Yeah, they're not there yet, but getting closer, Petchy. So I reckon they kick one more, you can go with it. One of you big
Oh, no, I
boys,
won't
but-
go. No, you guys are the comments. You guys can go with it. I'm done doing that.
You're done.
I got cleaned up a few years ago doing that.
Grant Frenetic manufactures a kick somehow out of the centre circles where the ball will stop. Low and tackle by 3 cards.
Yeah, you probably think, sorry, Paddy, but the 4 minutes of the last quarter where Brighton were able to get a couple of goals, that's just the difference because they've still made that margin, just had that margin.
25 points the margin. Again, we go stoppage to stoppage. No, the umpire decides to let it roll for a little bit longer. Farah just going as hard as he can, considering he's pretty much the sole half forward, small forward today with Angus Simons and Ollie Barter injured in the opening quarter. He's been incredible. Grant out of the ruck. Kicks it towards the boundary line. It'll roll out in front of the pack of players. What does the umpire say? Throw it in. Intersection of the 45-metre arc and the boundary. Daniel Ward for Hit IQ.
Yeah, the thing with a lot of the Scotch boys too, Paddy, so Farah's worked himself to a standstill. You see Frenetic there with his hands on his knees. Rotations are very limited at the moment, so they've been brave, but the damn wall might be about to break.
It was always going to happen late in the game too.
Clark out of the ruck, tried to take it out, couldn't get the grasp on a slippery footy. He falls to his knees, he feeds it to Lipscomb. Here's Henry Brown, skims the kick to the top of the square, and Tarrant out of his right mid as he reached for it and into the hands of Tweedy. He kicks it out towards the Nepean Highway side. Seagar off the deck, kicks it blindly out of bounds on the full. Walsh will take it of Old Scotch, defensive side of the wing.
So you can see the ball skidding now. It's on top of the ground here. It's getting a little bit slippery due to the precipitation out there. And now Scotch through Walsh. Bring it back in. Grant flies. Fell hitter Frenetic. A left foot kick goes inside 45. Farah! Oh, he nearly held on to it. He's got it. So Farah's been awarded the mark here for Scotch. Inside 45. Nature Reserve side of the ground.
It's going to be a really tough kick from there. He's still got the wing going straight at him. But if anyone can do it, he can.
So looking at their 6th goal of the afternoon. And Farah goes right across the face. Mark to be taken. No one does that for Scotch, and Cork sees it through minus score. 5-9-39 Scotch. 8-15 63 Brighton. 20 minutes gone for Old Tex in this final term.
So time on
Community TV.
Time on's got to be perfect here. Long down the line, Lawrence across the front. Did enough to bring the ball down, but he would have wanted the mark. And Lewis has the footy and goes over the top to Pryor, and the Tunners are away again. Down the broadcast wing for Hamish Dick.
Take your full 30 seconds, have a shot.
Yeah.
So Hamish Dick's in front of the Old Scotch bench. He's right in front of us. He's right in front of Matthew Donald. This for an even 5-goal lead as we tick it to time on in the final term. He's got 2 in the quarter already, Hamish Dick. He'll have to kick it 50 metres.
He's been the man in this final term. Certainly has been the target.
Yeah, he's presented really well.
Yeah.
The Tunners haven't won a top flight premiership. Hamish Dick for the 3rd of the quarter.
Oh.
Got it.
He's hit the post.
3/4 of the way up. What a beautiful kick. So minor score there to Brighton. 21 minutes gone in this final term. 64 playing 39. What can Mark Nat pull out of the hat here as he goes short and Brown takes the mark? Noblet, that is. He's had a terrific game for Scotch. As I said, best offside in play all year. Kick towards Grant.
That's a mark.
Half back, no mark taken. Yorgie got a kick in. Inside 45. Jack Brown there. Hugged there by Lewis. Now brought to ground by Lewis. And Will gets the free kick.
Probably fitting if Will Lewis kicks this goal. He's been fantastic all day.
Might get himself a medal at the end of the game, you think?
He's got a few competitors. Hugo.
Yeah, it's been a good even performance by the top end.
It sure has. He's kicked 3 for the afternoon.
Yeah, we talked about the tackle pressure all day for Old Brighton. They're up +7 and +8 in effective tackles on the day.
So crowd behind the goal for Brighton will ride this one home. This will be it. I'm calling it. This will be it. Lewis into goal here for Brighton. 45 out, kicked it. That's a beauty. It never deviated off its line at all, and have a look at them come to him. They hug him. They love him. And Lewis has kicked 4 for Brighton in a grand final. What a performance by him today. He's a class act. He doesn't need many possessions, but when he gets them, look what he can do. That split the middle.
Yeah, it was excellent execution there. When you talk about the performance he's had there, Petchy, I take it you like his game. But he would have 3 or 4 other score involvements as well with that left foot shoot in the middle of the ground. And then to do that, kick execution like that, where players have struggled with that breeze. We saw the one just before that turned right angles.
Here comes the rain.
Yeah, it's falling in earnest. You're seeing the crowds behind the goals just dispersed as Lipscomb's tackled off it by Gregson. Everything has to go right for Old Scotch now, but you think that even the Cards can't make a comeback from here. Gregson with the ball. He'll turn, he'll snap it inside 50. Lawrence stands in the hole. He's been brave, Dougie Lawrence. Not at 100%, but he's played as if he is. Long towards Farah. The fist from Lowen was good. Hayes threw a boot at it. It'll trickle towards the boundary. Butler will see it over. And the umpire will say throw it in. In front of the old Brighton bench, you can see Michael Karayanis, who's a legend of that footy club, up and down the boundary. He's not going to get a medal, but he deserves it for his service over many, many years for the Tunners. 70 plays 39. The William Buck scoreboard, it's a 31-point Tunners lead. Back into play. Lewis into the ruck. Couldn't win it down effectively. Henry Brown takes it, flings it to Lipscomb. Up and down the chimney he goes. The mark will count. Fishes underneath it and waits, but Hill, the skipper, came across the front and holds on to the Sherrin. He marks defensive side of the wing, broadcast side.
So Harry's got it, and I guess just as well, the rain's here now and it wasn't here earlier. It's been a great performance by Brighton to win this grand final here today. Now Gregson head over the football, handball, an errant one to Burnell, goes over the line and will have a ball in. 70 playing 39, 25 shots to 15 or to 14, sums it up here, Daniel.
Yeah, these are the stages. Last quarter, you know you've got it won. This is the best time in footy when you're 5 minutes away from the siren going and celebrating a premiership.
Yeah, especially when you're a coach, because you can actually just sit down and enjoy it for a couple of minutes.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Soup's enjoying it at the moment, but maybe in 5 he can. But yeah,
well, he should be. Petchy's called it.
Thrown back in. Here's Fisher. Well, I was brave. He goes inside 45 here for Brighton. Oh, Jonah Campbell goes into goal. Oh, he missed that one. Oh, you can see the whites there. But Jonah missed it. 9-17. Bad kicking by Brighton, but they're going to win. It doesn't matter. 71. Scotch 5-9, 39, 25 gone, final term here.
And you just think about the work that Scotch have put in over the last month or to 5 weeks. You know, they've been up, they've had to be up every week.
Absolutely. Well, they were in the relegation zone.
Well, exactly.
Let's face it.
And it's been elimination final after elimination final for them.
Yep.
And with those couple of early injuries, that just sort of hasn't helped. They played really good at stages. But,
they've threatened.
Yeah, they have.
They have threatened all of the afternoon, but Brighton just far too good.
So Campili couldn't quite mark it on his chest. Seagar takes the ball. Maybe one more for the road as Seagar toes it up to Pryor, who tries to bend his way loose of Lawrence. He soccers it high inside 50. Grant from behind will fly with Townsend. Dick takes the footy. He's going to eye the sticks. No, he gave it off to Fraser Gregson. His kick is smothered. Here comes Lewis. He wants 5. Jones involves himself. They scrap over the footy. Lewis takes down Jones. Two of the most significant September protagonists getting involved. Angus Jones, it's not been his day. But what a final series the young man has had. Ball in the air, Grant spikes it down, going for the high contact and winning it, I think.
Yep.
It's a little bit of afters for Jamie Hope from Aidan Frenetic. He'll have to endure a little bit of feedback from the Tunners players. Hope
Fisher
gets himself up, and Fisher and Fisher and Frenetic, I should say. So Hope's going to be advanced 50 metres, so the top of the goal square. A stellar year for Jamie Hope. He'll take his time, he'll enjoy it here. For a 38-point lead, it's Tunner time!
It sounded a bit pre-rehearsed there, Paddy. You had that one in the can, mate. But no, you just see the frustration there of Scotch, and you know, I think they're going to need to get another footy because he's put that out on the Glen Utley Road.
Yeah, that's nearly gone into Nepean Highway down near St Kilda, really. He kicked it that hard.
Yes.
But good on him, Jamie. That's his first goal of the afternoon.
As the Brighton faithful behind the goals, they're pretty vocal down there.
The rain hasn't spoilt their party, that's for sure. Hasn't dampened their enthusiasm, that's for sure.
Well, this is when for supporters and the people around the club, they're probably thinking a little bit of the heartbreak of last year, and now it's a relief.
Yeah, they've been to the final day a few times, as we spoke about pre-match. You know, all the people that have gotten to this stage, you know, this is for everyone outside of, you know, the guys on the field as well.
So ball back into the centre circles, 28 minutes gone in this final term. Brighton to win the 2025 grand final as soon as the siren goes. Easton, high tackle laid on him, came back here, frenetic. He tries to burst a tackle, he does. He gets a kick to centre half forward. Gelbard, that was strong. He waited for the cavalry to arrive, it did. Here's Easton from the free kick. Grubber kick along the ground. Clark, great pickup. Cormac goes into goal for Brighton, for Scotch. It fisted away there by Tarrant. It fell to Cork. Cork goes a handball towards the boundary line. Tawney sees it over and will have a ball in. 28 and a half gone.
Cork's been fantastic today down there on Tarrant. Tarrant's had very limited impact, and he's drilled away manfully there, so he should really enjoy this one.
So they are. You can see them. You can start to see them enjoying it here, Brighton, after their disappointing grand final last year. They get it back this year. Burnell goes to centre wing. Fisher eyes only for the footy, palmed it out the back. Fell out the back here to Hope, who kicked their last goal. Hayes on handle, tried to get the handball up. Noblet there in support, not there, and will have a ball in about 55 out from Brighton's goal. Nepean Highway side of the ground.
Gus Cork, his senior VAFA debut was in round 12 against St Kevin's. He's through the reserves, the 19s program. He had to force his way into the side, and with ACL injuries to Max Benier and Sam Flockhart this year, he's had to hold the fort as the fullback, Gus Cork, and he's been terrific today. On James Tarrant, who hasn't kicked a goal on grand final day after 4 last year. Scotch up the line towards centre half forward. Cork involved. There's a chance here for Jones and Clark. Jones will handball it over the top to Will Clark, and he'll run it in for his second, and Old Scotch's 6th.
Not much support left down there behind the goals there for Scotch and Clark.
No,
Has he kicked that in?
I think they all left when they heard you call it. Said, oh, well, it's done. It's done. But you can just see, so when you think of guys like Max Benier and Flockhart, they're the ones who wouldn't be playing in this side if it's not for injury, and you feel for them because they've been around the club for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. There's always those stories of guys that miss out, and Old Brighton are a great club like that. They'll include those guys in the celebrations.
Thrown in the air again inside the centre circles. Ruck go at it. Grant got it downhill. Tackled by Lipscomb. No free kick going his way. And we'll have a ball up again. 30 minutes gone in this grand final. Final quarter. 10-17, 77 Brighton. 6-9, 45 Old Scotch. As everyone just waits for the siren to go. Fisher head over the footy. Easton got it away from him. Handball to Lipscomb, goes to centre half forward. Drop mark taken there by Yorkie. Brought to ground in the end by Tawney. And we'll have a ball up.
That range has taken effect now, so very hard to affect a possession because it's just such a slippery cake of soap.
Yeah, it sure is, because the ground's rather hard and the ball just skids as it hits the deck. Here is Henry Brown. 45 out from goal. He goes into goal. Will it go through? No. It went to the left of the post and only a minor score. 6-10, 46 Scotch. But Brighton are on 10-17, 77. 31 played in this final term for Community TV. And we may be just seeing the last minute of this grand final being played out.
So Butler short to Yorgie from the restart. He's going to kick it down the Nepean Highway wing. Hope stands underneath the footy. He went for a leap, couldn't bring it down. It's fisted away and over the boundary line.
I know when the siren goes, we'll be all talking about Old Brighton with, as we should, who have had a fantastic year and deserve to win the premiership. But they've been so brave today, Scott. They really have. They've been brave the last 5 or 6 weeks, and finally they ran out of soldiers a little bit.
Back underway, spike forward, Old Scotch. They've been able to get some forward footy in these last 5 minutes. Montanaro wades his way through to Burnell along the boundary. Is there time for one more? Goes towards 45. Jack Brown underneath the footy for the Cards. Takes the grab. And he'll just go back down the Nepean Highway wing. Did not hit that ball very well at all. It's taken by Cormac, who's been swung forward in the last quarter. Finn Campilli applies a spoil. Came to Burnell, who gets through. Handball over the top. Here's Harry Hill. This would be fitting. Harry Hill goes for goal. It's not going to have the carry. It's taken by the Cards, and Townsend will run it out of fullback.
So he does just that. He comes up to Lawrence, marks just outside defensive 45, and away he goes. Left foot kick up towards half forward. Clark a long way behind Tweedy. and 20 takes the mark here for Brighton. Surely not much time left in this game. Brighton to be premiers in 2025. Dimartina, he's got the footy. He goes with a kick back inside. Finn Campili couldn't complete the mark. It fell to Brady, who goes here to Jones. Jones has got it here for Scotch. He can go inside, and he does to Clark. An eternity to get rid of it. Knocked off the footy by Fisher. It came back to Jalbart. Jalbart into Tawney. Tawney into goal for Scotch. It was a touch. No, it's a goal. So Tawney kicks their 7th. They go on to 7-10-52. Brighton on 10-17-77. That at the 33-minute mark of the final term. And Tawney kicks his first goal of the afternoon.
And you like to see that by Scotch, really playing the game out and continuing. And you just think about the last 5 or 6 weeks that they've had, and this goes to show today how hard grand finals are to win. You've got to be up for so long, had a lot of things go right, and Brighton's had the dream run in with injuries going their way, and have that week off refreshed. And, you know, they started really well, Scotch, but those a couple of early injuries and just probably the fatigue of the last 5 weeks has caught up. And there it is.
For the first time in VAFA top flight, the Tunners are premiers. So much heartbreak over such a long time. 2 grand final losses in 3 seasons. It's all been worth the wait for the red and the blue. For Harry Hill, for Marcel Bruin, for Tom Fisher, for Will Lewis. They've done it in 2025, the Tunners. 10-17-77. 7-10-52. 25-point victors. Will Lewis kicked 4 goals. He's won 2 premierships in a week. On Sunday with Footscray VFL and on Friday with Old Brighton. The team he's played now 72 senior games of VAFA footy for. He kicked 4 goals, 2 to Hamish Dick. Singles for Joey Campili, Gus Edgar, Tom Fisher and Jamie Hope. For Old Scotch, Farah kicked 3, Clark with 2, Hayes and Tawney with 1. The premiership is won by the Tunners. It's fitting. They've had such a terrific run of success over these last 4 years. And the best team over that 4-year run finally can lift the Premiership Cup.
Yeah, great scenes out there. Looks like, a lot of relief, I would say, for Old Brighton. That's when your nerves can build up, when you've had the perfect preparation that they've had. Then your opposition has a couple of soldiers go down early, and the opportunity was staring them in the face, and they executed. And full credit to Old Brighton, full credit to the whole footy club. Obviously, 12 months ago, same opposition, didn't go their way, but to butter up and get the job done again today, well led by Harry Hill and Tom Fisher in particular.
So we'll be amongst the players in just a few moments' time. Looks like Matthew Donald has been able to pull out Will Lewis after his 2nd premiership in a week.
Boys, Tom Fish, what are your immediate emotions, mate? This must be unbelievable.
Will Lewis, a premiership for the Footscray.
This is just awesome.
VAFA premiership here. It's been a good week for you.
It's been. I knew we had it in us, but to top those Scotchy boys, they've been on an incredible run and they're an incredible outfit, but we just knew with this side, we just keep chipping away, we just grind teams down, and we did that today, and it's a special group.
Especially after last year, the heartbreak to come out and do it today. But this group is just unbelievable, isn't it?
Last year just wasn't right without Harry out there, but to have him leading from the front, he's an incredible human and an incredible mate, an incredible player for this team, and to have him part of it this year just makes it that much sweeter.
So I'll let you get back in the thick of it. They're nuts back there.
Here with Will Lewis, 4 goals today for you. A VFL premiership last week, a VAFA premiership this week. It's been a good week for you.
Yeah, definitely been one of the best weeks, or definitely the best week I've had in football. Speechless, to be honest, at the moment. Absolutely gassed. They're formidable opponents, so it's good to get the win.
It's been a great season for you, and a great day today as well. What is it about this group that's they've been so consistent for so long? It's taken them a while to get to this promised land, but they've finally done it. What is it that makes this group tick?
I guess there's the same guys week in, week out, who you see the same names on the team sheet, everyone's committed. You still have the same issue mid-year where everyone goes away, but at the end of the day, it's the same group who's been here
the whole time I've been here, led by the skipper Haz and the other boy Tommy Fish. So just one club, it's just an amazing place to be.
Well, I'll let you go and...
So Will Lewis and Tom Fisher, chief protagonists on grand final day. It's pretty tricky, Hugo, to pick between them, I think, for who had the better day and maybe who might be wearing the Jock Nelson medal in a few minutes' time.
Yeah, well, you look at the final margin, and that was Will Lewis, I think. Anyway, I think he's four-quarter performer. You know, he's kicked those goals, but also had those score involvements when he was up the field and gone in the ruck as well. So I think it's, well, anyway, it's not me picking it. And I usually get them wrong anyway, and Petchy always comes over the top. So what is it better to me? I can't wait till we get to the goal today.
Special mention to Louis Butler. Thought he did a fantastic job. And all throughout the final series, took the most dangerous forward. So special mention to him. Tom Fisher, but yeah, probably agree, Hugo. If we're picking best on, it's looking like Will Lewis.
Yeah. Tom Fisher mentioned Harry Hill, who of course missed out on grand final day last year with concussion. He missed the entire final series. He captained or co-captained this team to the Premier B Premiership in 2017. He's been around the place through their top flight ventures. It's so richly deserved for one of the VAFA's finest footballers.
No, exactly. He's been so good for so long. And you think about last year when he couldn't play with that concussion, and unfortunately they lost. But if they had won, you sort of think to yourself, was that the chance? Because they're very hard to get to. But at least now, he'll be able to say every day for the rest of his life he's an A-grade premiership player and premiership captain. So that's something that I always told my players, that congratulations, every day for the rest of your life you're a premiership player. Because we have thousands of people play the game and only a select few get to win a premiership. They're hard to do.
And the first. He deserves to be that. He's a fantastic example of VAFA footy and the human that he is. So really deserves that. Deserves to hold that couple off. And we haven't mentioned it a lot, but you know, Marcel Bruin, second year in the job. Again, the first A-grade premiership coach. Fantastic effort from him. He's someone that's been around the footy club a long time, and I'm wrapped for Soup to get the job done.
Well, the Tunners faithful enjoy these next few minutes. We're about to throw it downstairs to Matthew Donald, our Master of Ceremonies today, for all the post-match celebrations. Enjoy as Old Brighton are presented as premiers of VAFA's top flight in 2025. So we'll be underway with the ceremony in just a few moments' time, trying to get hold of Marcel Bruin there. And the pack, apologies. The rain, it might be playing some havoc with our technical equipment down there at ground level. But before we do get over to Matty Donald, who will be conducting the ceremonies down in front of us, Hugo Higginbotham, I know that you don't like to pick the best player on the ground, but I'm going to try and give you that task. Who do you think is going to be awarded the Jock Nelson medal?
Look, I think it will be Lewis. I think he's been fantastic today. He got on the scoreboard, had a lot of contested possessions around the ground, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Fisher as well. Like, Fish was fantastic. It was an in and under, and especially when they were going poorly with the clearances, he seemed to come back in, and he was always fighting there for it as well. And the umpires do pick it, I think, don't they? The umpires pick it? Yeah, there you go. So what? Yeah, well, what could go wrong there?
Well, he was right in front of them for most of the game because he was either marking the ball, standing underneath the high one, or going to fetch it when it was on the ground. So a magnificent performance by Tom Fisher. Also, I think, from Louis Butler, as you mentioned, Daniel Ward, he was terrific.
Yes, absolutely, Paddy. So just waiting to see what was happening there. But yeah, absolutely. So it shows how good they've been this year that you could give the best on to so many different players.
It really was an even performance. I thought Quinton Montanaro was terrific as well for the Tunners. And Tommy Farrow, I think, made himself a late case with that final term for Old Scotch. It wasn't to be ultimately for them.
Yeah, you can just see the talent of the kid. I mean, he played in the 19 finals a few weeks ago, then came in to play to that next step up to that next level, and has played really well, hitting the scoreboard, played his role. And, you know, he gave them a lot of spark when they were really flat at moments today. Just took the game on, which is what young blokes do, Woody.
And what about Scotch, Hugo? Like, had some young guys who really stood up throughout this final series. Obviously had some sore boys.
Yes.
But the future's bright for them as well.
Oh, exactly. A good 19s program, and yes, we expect to see a lot of them in the future, Paddy.
Yeah, we will know about them for sure. Let's go down to Matthew Donald, our Master of Ceremonies, for the post-match festivities.
Well, he's not talking.
Thank you everybody for your attendance here at Elsternwick Park this afternoon for the VAFA Premier Men's Grand Final for 2025. Congratulations to Old Brighton for taking out the premiership in today's game. Joining me to present the medals will be Old Brighton legend Bob McClellan, who was a member of the inaugural Old Brighton team in 1957. So we welcome you, Bob. Before that, though, please do join me in congratulating the umpires who were involved in today's game. Jordan Gibson, Patrick Sexton, Daniel Silfo, Xavier Hendy, Lucas Kennedy, Nick Obst, Zane White, Daniel O'Shea and Nick Toohey. This game and the season wouldn't be possible without the officials, so we're very grateful for their contributions throughout the course of the year. Collecting the medals, Daniel Silfo, who'll be doing it on behalf of all of the umpires. A slice of history today for Daniel. Broke the record for the most number of games umpired, or the most number of grand finals umpired by an individual. Today was his 8th since 2011. So Daniel, congratulations. Now I'd like to welcome the skipper of Old Scotch, Andy Gelbart, to the stage to say a few words on behalf of his side.
Firstly, just like to thank the VAFA. Pretty competition you guys have, and week on week you continue to deliver. You've got great umpires, great facilities. I think you put on a really good show. So thank you. The umpires, thanks for coming out today. You guys are awesome. Again, week on week, you guys continue to show up and give us the opportunity to play against each other. Brighton, too good. You guys have been awesome for a couple of years now, and we knew it was going to be a bit of a fight coming up against you guys today. But Harry, Fish, you guys are just way too good, and congratulations, you deserve it. You've earned it, and I hope you blow the roof off tonight. To our boys, I think we can hold our heads up high. It was a pretty difficult season. We had people in and out all year. We had people in VFL. We had young kids going overseas to Europe and partying. But to be here, just week on week, from about 3 rounds to go, we just continued to show up, continued to battle. Made sure that dog inside of us came out, and we just continued to fight. So I'm really proud of you guys, and I think we should hold our heads up high, despite not coming away with the jockeys today. But I just can't thank you enough for what a great year it's been, and to get here was phenomenal. So thanks, guys.
Thank you, Andy, and congratulations to you and your teammates on another fine season for Old Scotch. I now would like to welcome Jock Nelson, the man himself, to present the medal to the player adjudged best on ground in today's grand final. The best on ground today of Old Brighton, Will Lewis. Now I'd like to invite the coach of Old Brighton, Marcel Bruin, to say a few words on behalf of his team, the Premiership coach of 2025.
Thanks, Matty. Matty,
as I said to you after the game, mate, we came across that you boys fight buggery and did such a great job losing 2 early as well, which I'm sure you didn't need. You've had an incredible year. You should be incredibly proud of yourselves the way you fought out the year, coming off a challenging first sort of 3 quarters of it, but you came home with a wet sail and you're just so hard to play against. It keeps you in games and certainly kept you in this game for a long period of time, mate, so well done. Congrats. VAFA, thank you very much for putting on, obviously, what we think is community's best football around Australia. There's so much talent running around here. It just works so well for the crowds. They love watching our football. So great job putting this on for everyone. As you probably know, this is we've been in the Ammos for near on 70 years now. So 57 we entered the VAFA, and this is our very first A-grade premiership. And it's not just this group that's obviously contributed to that. There's been decades of hard work from a number of people, committees, presidents, players, coaches, that have all culminated to get us to this point. And I couldn't be more proud to be the lucky man in charge of this group of young players. You're an extraordinary group of young players. I'm so privileged and grateful to get to work with you throughout the week, 2 days a week, and then one day on Saturday. You acquitted yourselves so incredibly well today, boys. We've been building up for this for a long, long time, and I can't wait to take that cup down to Beach Road and share it with everyone who's been part of this journey. Well done, boys.
Cast aside, quite literally. Now, Marcel, I'm going to get you to stay on stage with us and present the medal to each of the Premiership players for Old Brighton in this 2025 campaign. Starting with number 1, Thomas Burnell. Number 2, Jordan Seager. Number 3, Tom Yorgie. Number 5, Campbell Tweedy. Number 6, Tom Fisher. Number 7, Jamie Hope. Number 11, Felix Flocker. Number 13, Finn Campili. Number 15, Kai Dimatina. Number 16, Hamish Dick. Number 19, Jonah Campili. Number 20, Lewis Butler. Number 22, Max Lohan. Number 24, Ben Pryor. Number 26, Quinton Montanaro. Number 29, Fraser Gregson. Number 40, Angus Edgar. Number 41, Luca McNabb. Number 45, Luke Travers. Number 61, Angus Cork. Number 64, Will Lewis. And the captain of Old Brighton Football Club, number 4, Harry Hill.
Yeah, thank you. Firstly, thanks to the VAFA, put on an unbelievable competition today. Awesome spectacle, obviously massive crowd. So thank you for all you do and for all you do to let us play footy. Thanks to the umpires again. I thought super consistent again. Yeah, like Jelly said, we wouldn't have a game without you guys. So thank you. To Natty, Strangey, Jelly, and the Scotch boys, unbelievable season. You guys, like Soupy said, so tough to play against. Got so much respect for you guys and how you go about your footy, and similar today, you just fought till the end, which is a credit to you, so you should be really proud of your efforts. And lastly, to our boys, the 22 that represented us today, amazing effort, so proud of you guys, but it goes beyond that. People who contributed throughout the year, guys who missed out through injury and selection, the supporters, everyone, thank you. It means so much that you guys show up week after week to give us the support, and we wouldn't be in this position without you. So thank you very much, and let's enjoy this one.
Thank you for that, Harry, and I'd like you to present the medal to the coach, Marcel Bruin of Old Brighton. And to present the Premiership Cup, as I mentioned earlier, Bob McClellan, member of Old Brighton's inaugural team of 1957, to hand the Premiership over to Coach Marcel Bruin, Captain Harry Hill, and the Old Brighton Football Club.
It's Old Brighton's flag in 2025. It's great to hear from Harry Hill, from Marcel Bruin. Thanks to Matthew Donald, our Master of Ceremonies, taking care of all the formalities here at Elsternwick Park. The Tunners 10-17-77, Old Scotch 7-10-52. It was Scotch by 7 points at quarter time, the Tunners by 22 points at half time, by 23 points at three-quarter time, and by 25 points when the final siren of 2025 sounded. Will Lewis, the Jock Nelson medalist, with 4 goals, 2 for Hamish Dick, singles for Jonah Campili, Edgar Fisher and Hope. For Old Scotch, Farah kicked 3, Clark hit 2, Hayes and Tawney with singles. Our post-match show today for Casa, delicious, time-saving and 100% a no-brainer. Sip.Casa, fuelled by club spirit. We'll start with our GYG goal of the day. Order on the GYG app today and get rewarded every time you eat at GYG. Fast food athletes say yes to. Daniel Ward, Hugo Higginbotham, the floor is yours.
No, I'm out. It's all Wardy.
Jeez, no pressure. What was it? Was it goal first or Mark? Goal first. Let's go with Will Lewis in the second quarter.
Agree. Yeah.
On this, in the second quarter, I know he's already won something, but we've got to give it to the best goal. I thought that was a real team lifter in the second quarter. Got him going, and congratulations, Will Lewis.
Our mark of the day is for Sharon, the number 1 Australian football brand of the country. They're the footballs that all players want to get their hands on. Who had their hands on it the most today, and who gave us the highlight of the grand final?
Oh, that was an amazing mark by Tarrant as his buttons come flying through, but I thought Tarrant's mark was fantastic. What, you're not going to say anything?
Oh, well, there was some really good marks out there. Yeah. Even Charlie Cormack took some beauties today, but definitely James Tarrant. Yes, well, we'll go with James.
Well, it must be grand final day, because it's the first thing you've agreed on with me all year.
So. Just want to get off.
I'm glad we got there in the last broadcast of the season. Our Skins player of the day. I mean, it feels like it just has to be Will Lewis after he won the Jock Nelson medal, but are we able to throw it? We might get down to Matthew Donald. No, sorry, apologies for that. So, our Skins player of the day. Hugo, have you got anyone?
Look, Will Lewis was fantastic and well deserved. But look, there was an honourable mention to Fisher. Well, Fisher was really good. Tommy Farah.
Christy, you got me there?
Lone hand he was, which was outstanding. So, but no, look, Will Lewis, because he had 4 or 5 goal assists as well. Battled in the ruck too. And I know you're a Louis Butler fan.
Yeah, let's give it to Will Lewis. Obviously had a different preparation this week, so maybe a few players will be looking at having a couple of cans 3 or 4 days out from the game next year. But no, obviously a big week for him, and he deserves best on ground honours.
I think honourable mention for Scotch, as you said. Noblet, like, he was for mine. He finished where he started. He had fair bit of footy. All his possessions were great, and I thought it was the best game I've seen Alex play this season for Scotch. I thought it was terrific.
You mentioned that 4 or 5 times during the call, so I'd like to see the way you make your point. So that's good. That's good. I'm glad there was. Anyway, you just feel not was it out there? He was your favourite for the year.
So Skins going to Will Lewis as well as the Jock Nelson medal. We'll give him that one. I genuinely thought Tom Fisher had a shot. I think when the game was at its hottest, especially across those middle quarters, he was really impressive, really strong performance, both in the inside midfield but also behind and ahead of the footy, jumping in the air, standing in the hole when it was required. So one player I'm really happy for is Harry Hill. He's a man, he missed the entire final series. He speaks so well. He's always very generous with his time and what he offers us as far as media appearances are concerned, but just such a super year for such a super player, and it's all capped off as being a premiership captain.
Yeah, no, well deserved for him as well. I mean, he's after the heartbreak of last year.
Yeah.
And then, but the thing that he's best at as well is the leadership. You need to see what he does around the ground, and every club would love to have one of him.
We've spoken about that with him before.
Yeah,
absolutely. And there are leaders and there are leaders. He's a born leader.
And he's a leader.
Absolute born leader. I think the winner today was football. Once again, they've got a great crowd here today. That was really great. Really great.
You happy with the public holiday Friday? You think it's working, Petchy?
No, I don't really agree with it. But it has worked for football here today, that's for sure.
Yes.
So they'll keep it going. Why not build on it? Yeah.
What about all the buys in the season? You think it drags on a bit long? I know there is some talk about that around the competition, how they feel it just keeps going and going.
Yeah.
It spreads the finals out, though, amongst the divisions.
Well, I think you start in April, you finish in September. That's normal, isn't it?
It's just a balancing act because we've had him in past years where we haven't had the double bye, and a lot of teams, there was some teams that had to forfeit reserves because there was so many away. So with the double bye, it offers that opportunity for even some old Brighton players to go away during the year and come back.
That actually raises a good point about the middle part of the year when the Brighton side we looked at. It's nothing like the Brighton side now, is it? You know, they blooded a lot of... I mean, Charlie Richardson played.
Yes.
You know, I'm surprised he didn't play today, but where are you going to put... I'd have Lewis in front of him, I suppose. But they did a really good job to manage their season. You know, you can't do much more than what they've done for the year.
Absolutely, and they had that period of time where they had a lot of players out. They had some losses. Then they lost Benyere and Flockhart with the knee. Yep. So it looked like they were in a bit of strife.
We might try and head downstairs and see if we can get inside the celebrations here. Let's throw it down to Cal Cummins and Matthew Donald.
No.
Boys down here with Kylie Matina. First seniors flag in the A grade for the team. What are the immediate emotions?
Oh, you know, it's a lot of emotions. We've had, I think, 3 grand finals in the last 4 years, so to finally get, we're very, very happy, and as you can see behind us, everyone is celebrating big time, and the club should be a bit dangerous tonight. A lot of fun there.
For a guy like Harry Hill, who's led this club from the front for the part of 10 years, to win a flag for him, for Soupy, for over there as well, he must be elated.
Yeah, well, I mean, we missed him last year, and he showed his class today. He is just another level, and we're so grateful for him here. So, yeah, he's a great guy, and...
Chris, have you got me there?
He's a superstar, isn't he?
Who's your best on tonight?
Best on tonight? We'll go like Louis Butler. Apparently he loves it, so we're planning to, burn the house down. That's what we've been saying.
No worries, we'll let you go.
Yeah, because I'm trying to line something up.
That's the Brighton boy, Cal Cummins, I think, really enjoying the premiership celebrations.
Yeah, no, you watch, he'll be in the song too. He'll be right in there.
Left the scarf.
I'm very surprised that he's not got the scarf on, because he may or may not have been walking around pre-game.
Do you make sure that scarf stays here too, Petchy? Don't you do anything like that? I can see my chickie over here.
I've been looking at it.
You love a prop. I mean,
I do.
You were very strong today with the,
here we go. We got the
Funk and Wagnalls dictionary.
This is actually Petchy's dictionary from 1969 when he did his 4th year of grade 4.
That's it.
And it's still
in a row too, it was.
There's only a couple of words in here circled, and you can probably imagine the ones I'm going to.
I couldn't read them.
They're 4-letter words. They're your favourites. But no, I thought it was very fitting that the Funk and Wagnall
fitting,
came
and
out
we've had
today.
a photo taken with it. It's magnificent.
So
it's what it's all about.
The Funk and Wagnall.
It's what it's all about, having fun calling a game of football.
And that has been a lot of fun this year.
It's terrific.
We've had an amazing final series, haven't we?
Terrific. And it all culminates in Old Brighton taking home the flag. And after last year's disappointing, Paddy?
We might head down to Matthew Donald because he might have an interview lined up for us. Let's head down to Matty now.
I'm here now with Jamie. I know it's only just happened. How does it feel just initially?
First thought's probably relief because, we were last year and we probably thought we deserved it last year and it obviously didn't go our way. So there's a lot of nerves and excitement heading into today. To finally be done, got the medal around the neck, just such relief, I guess, and of course enjoyment.
A couple of times in that second half, but the team held firm. Shows a bit about the team, that mental resilience to be able to wave that challenge and then fight back stronger than ever.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely threw a few punches where they almost got back in range, but that's credit to our back six. I reckon it's probably our strongest line. Like undersized guys like Gus Cork and Campbell Tweedy playing way above their weight, just fight all day. We never gave in. Louis Butler, these guys are stars, so I credit them the most probably, but it is 100% our mental attitude. Harry Hill drives and Tom Fisher and those guys.
And to finally get there after a couple of near misses, just a massive relief, I imagine.
Yeah, it's just the biggest relief. Just for the guys who have been here for 12, 15 years, I mean, trying, that whole time, just for those guys. Myself came from the school program. There's just so much pride, and I'm so happy to be a part of this club, and, everyone here means so much to each other, so it's pure elation.
Well, I'll let you go and celebrate it. Congratulations.
Cheers, thanks so much.
Jamie Hope kicked 4 goals on second semi-final day. He has been superb in September, and he kicked the goal that pretty much shut the gate on Old Scotch. A big congratulations to him. We'll have a few more interviews to come to you over the next little while, but before we do, let's head to our numbers expert for Premier Data, Pat Quartarzo. Pat, you were watching this game very closely indeed. How was the win secured by the Tunners?
Well, it was really from stoppage in the end. They scored 7 goals, 5 to Old Scotch's 1 goal, 5. Old Scotch's only goal from stoppage came on the last goal of the game in that. And, well, Hugo did mention it about the hit-outs early in the game. And, well, for Old Scotch, they had 82 hit-outs for 17 hit-outs to advantage. And in the end, it was a +5 centre-bounce clearance result for Old Brighton as a key stat in that area. So really the stoppages were the big thing that drove Old Brighton into getting up in that second quarter, then going on to win with it. But I guess for Old Scotch, the real big thing was their contested possessions. They actually were +1 in the end for the day, so they did a good job there.
So we'll track Old Brighton into the rooms. They're about to sing the song at a volume hitherto unknown on this planet. Congratulations to everyone at the Old Brighton Footy Club. And from us at VAFA Media, thanks for joining us throughout the season. To Daniel Ward, to Hugo Higginbotham, Simon Petch, Cal Cummins and Matthew Donald, thanks for your participation. It's the Tunners Premiership in 2025.
Stay up to date with all the latest from the Victorian Amateur Football Association with the brand new VAFA app. Stay connected with live scores, fixtures, stats and news from across the Victorian Amateur Football Association right at your fingertips. Download the VAFA app today from the App Store or Google Play and never miss a moment.
The VAFA's Night of Nights is just around the corner. Join us at the VAFA Awards Night as we celebrate our league best and fairest winners, induct our newest life members and present the Premiership flags. Wednesday, October 8th at the Lakeside Pavilion in Albert Park. Get your tickets now at vafa.com.au.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Hey guys, introducing GYG's $12 chicken mini meal. It's the ultimate value bundle. A mini chicken burrito or bowl, medium Chipotle seasoned fries, and a bottle of water or a soft drink of your choice. It's cheaper than cooking at home. Love ya.